I've been sipping on ricotta, gon' pop me a bottle, pour me up a drink. Yeah, she been sipping on ricotta, gon' pour her a bottle, pour her up a drink, pour us up a drink. A ricotta, we gon' have a drink. A ricotta, everybody drinking. Ricotta, get you some ricotta. Oh, I've been sipping on ricotta. I've been sipping on ricotta. I've been sipping on ricotta. Ricotta or more, drink like a boss.
You're crazy. Listen by the wrist, keep that 40 by the hip. I got that super damn drip.
Yeah, black excellence. I am excellent. Yeah, black excellence. I am excellently black with intelligence. I am heaven sent.
You are now tuned in to the Slick Talk with Scalez podcast.
Oh, we live. We're live.
Hey, y'all.
We live, we lit, we here. It's episode 161. Damn, 161 episodes. Episode 161 of the Slick Talk with Scalez podcast.
I put 160.
Damn, it's 161.
Not him not knowing.
I can fix it on Facebook and YouTube, so don't worry about it. But yeah, if you're just tapping in, please share this shit everywhere. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter right now. My Twitter people, what's popping? Please share this shit and retweet it. You know what's going on. YouTube, what's popping? Hit that subscribe, like, notification button. Y'all running it up. We over our watch hours, so we just waiting on our email from YouTube so we can get officially monetized. But we over our subscriber count and our watch hours. So I'm proud of us for that because we've been here 6 months. And we had 200 subscribers before we got to the compound, and we are at 1,400 now.
Right.
Yeah, 1,400 in 6 months. I had somebody tell me the other day, like, I don't really see it on Facebook and this and that like that no more. I was like, that's because we moved our shit to YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, we've been
Oh, you re-share?
You look brighter. Don't worry, I'm gonna take care of it. I'm working on it.
Okay. I'm waiting on it.
We don't have our normal people in the house today, so
Thank you.
we're working on it.
we got wine and shit on deck.
Oh,
though.
we
You feel me? Yeah,
Right.
fancy.
As long as we got wine on
the
deck.
way.
Not Taco Bell.
Yes, Taco Bell. Yes, my Mexican pizza.
Because I owe food from the last time she was here. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah, so arrival time is 8:15. You know what I'm saying? If you're on Facebook, like I said, please share this everywhere that you can for me. This is episode 161 of the Slick Talk with Scalez podcast. Here, trying to find it. I don't know what's going on with these tags.
Yeah, they
tag
tag. Probably not doing the right thing.
which is weird. But yeah, like I said, man, we ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna get into this shit. We got guests in the building. We got our guest host back. She came back because she mixed last week.
Yeah, what happened to you last week?
I was sick. I still got a cough.
Oh
Child.
wow, look at she
You see how
coughed
I
on
was on
command.
cue like
She
that?
coughed on command.
You heard it though.
We gonna have to get Bree. We got to get Bree some acting classes.
Oh, I'm actually
You're
sick.
getting too good
Well,
at
I'm
this
getting
shit, man.
over it. Don't.
You're getting too good at this shit, my nigga. You know what I'm
Whatever.
saying? For real. But Yeah, so I'm happy you're back.
Yeah,
People were happy that you were here. I got a lot of inboxes. A lot of people wrote me asking, where the fuck was she at? Yeah, I mean, there was some other people, you know. But like me and Kenzie said before the show, we celebrate the people who are happy to see us, not the people who ain't happy to see us. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? We celebrate the people who happy to see us. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of time we over here at old Slicktalk and Scalez.
I'm messing with the brightness, but it, you know, it kind of feel like, you know, cable access right now. So we're working on it.
Cable access.
Works for me. That's good lighting.
It is what it is, man. Yeah, it's looking a little better, bro.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
All right. We in there.
Make sure your bright is up on your phone or whatever you watching this on and shit. You know what I'm saying? So we don't look great at y'all and shit. But yeah. Ryan, what's popping? She in the comments. Thank you for sharing.
She's up here first.
You know what I'm saying? That's what
She
popping.
jump in like a real YouTube person. Like, I'm first. I'm in the comments first.
See, she asked me to be the comment.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to tell her who that was. Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew.
It's tea, ladies and gentlemen. It is tea. Tea party.
Yeah, we
All
can't.
right.
We're not allowed.
Yeah, he'll be all right. That's my new thing. That's my new thing for when niggas get the tripping. I just be like, he'll be all right.
Not allowed in there. You gentlemen, can I have my lighter?
I think it's the easy way to eat.
Is there
That's
actually
right.
water down
Okay.
there at all? Or are there waters?
It's a water in the fridge. If somebody wouldn't mind grabbing the young lady and water in the fridge, yeah, it's a fridge in the back. Yeah, we fancy up in this joint, man. You know what I'm saying? Like on your regular podcast, you feel me? We fancy in this joint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, also, you know, holding it down with me, always rolling with me, my dog Don. Say what up to the people.
What else?
This nigga got a mic.
You trying to be fancy?
Fancy. He's super fancy.
Oh,
Big star.
Yeah, y'all already know what time it is. I'm talking shit in the mic.
Hustler water.
Yeah, we got hustler water.
That sounds dirty.
Spitting on slick talk. What else?
Dirty magazine, ain't it?
Yeah, that is the actual same company.
That's how you know
That's
I've been
why
in
I
the
said it
studio too
sounds
much.
dirty.
I've been in the studio too much this week.
It's the same company.
I seen the mic. I was like, oh, what up, though?
So yeah, make sure you're sharing this everywhere that you can on Facebook, please. Also on Twitter, retweet this. Like I said, you can share this on YouTube also. And our guest today is Miss Ashley Stokes.
Not forgetting the S.
Ashley S. Stokes.
Not forgetting the S.
Ashley S. Stokes. Please don't forget the S.
Please don't
And
forget
the S is for sensation. The S is for sexy.
It's
The
for
S is for
Shanika.
all the Lil Wayne shit. All the Lil
Shanika.
Wayne had an F for every yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I told y'all this back on the show.
What you say?
Shanika.
Shanika. Okay, it stands for Shanika. But yeah, we got Ashley Stokes in the building with us today. Ashley S. Stokes in the building with us today. Haitian soul, as far as I'm concerned. But that's how far back we go. You dig?
Is
Yeah.
it still that on Twitter?
Yeah, it is.
I think so,
Hey,
but
look, she don't want nobody to find it. She like,
I changed it.
it is.
That's my, yeah.
Well, yeah, talk some of that.
That's why. Talk that's why.
What comes after that? After what he said, don't you say something
I
after
don't
that?
talk. I don't speak.
So I say it's like nebulae or some shit.
I don't speak French.
Oh, yeah, it is actually. He's right here.
Yeah. So we got Ashley in the building. I see you sipping. And
Absolutely.
you got the sip and speak coming up.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you know what's going on. We got
Sip and Speak is November the 6th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Break 38. All the ladies gonna be in the building. Shout out to Adam at Break because he be popping. But
We've seen a lot of fire.
yeah, we got some baddies in Sip and Speak. Yes, we do. We got some baddies. Like
No, I seen a couple of people on the lineup.
yeah.
Is it poetry?
No, so Sip and Speak is a healing space. It's a natural healing space for Black women to come together and be able to have conversations based off of the things that they have experienced. I don't really like to use the word trauma, but I like to call it experiences because I think that we don't do it enough. We don't talk in a healthy way about the things that we've gone through or the things that we've experienced together. So I think it's really important to have a healthy Black woman, ain't no shade in this room type of vibe. So that's
no, ain't no brothers allowed.
And
we all already tried that. As soon as I sent the flyer go up,
there's no men allowed.
I done been through some trauma.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. If that's, if they feel comfortable in that space, anyone that feels welcome or comfortable coming.
You are a liar. Y'all aren't.
You don't have to identify queer lesbians.
Y'all have vaginas.
Because y'all
we're queer lesbians.
You gotta look up the definition, Brie.
Disrespectful. No.
Did you not watch the program?
You gotta look that up.
We were officially christened as queer lesbians.
Yeah.
Lesbians have vaginas and
No,
vaginas.
No, that's not true.
See, if I identify as a bad bitch and I like bitches, I'm a queer lesbian.
You identify as a bad bitch?
Yep.
Since when?
Just so I can be a lesbian.
I'm done. I'm so done with him. I'm so done.
That's that. But
shout out to the queer lesbians out there in the world.
I'm done.
You know what I'm saying? We here for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say that's like really nice that you have an outlet like that, because I feel like for most Black women, where they go and vent is social media for everybody these days. And I feel like Black women and Hispanic women, they all get labeled as these angry women, and we so bitter and miserable and this, that, and the third. So I feel like it's really good to have a place that you can go and like voice your opinions without being bitter and miserable. Yes,
I feel like
I think that
first of all, I don't feel like you're a strong man. I don't feel like
Who said they was a strong man?
I don't feel like you're a strong man if you don't love an angry Black woman.
Yeah,
I love angry.
Okay, so I want to paint a different picture, because I think that for years and years and years that women have gone through multiple. I'm talking about our Black and brown communities. Let me be clear. I think that we have endured a lot of pain, so we have the right to voice what we are feeling, and I think that right now in those spaces, it's important for our Black men to love us while we are expressing ourselves. Now, we can talk forever and ever and ever about all of the negatives that this causes and all of the negatives that this creates, but that's why I got my space, because now we're getting it out in a positive way, we're getting it out in a positive light, and everybody tends to want to pull out like, look, they do this and we do this. No, we're not here to point any fingers. We're really here to take self-accountability for the things that we've gone through and put ourselves through, so that we can continue to shine our light. Like, so we have to kind of get out of that negative mind frame and just put it into a positive light. That's
very difficult. That's a very difficult thing for people to do, is take self-accountability.
Well, maybe you got to surround yourself with different people, because with the people that I'm around, we take accountability for the things that we do wrong. So I don't really, you know what I mean? I'm just saying now, like, maybe you got to kind of put yourself into different spaces. It's important that you kind of do self-accountability on that. Like, yeah, people do this, but you're around it though. So, I think that we got to change the narrative on everything. And that's really what the basis of Sip and Speak You Lit is about. Jumpstart Your 2023. We're changing the narrative on what and how we want to go into 2023. Like, the things that we want to see for ourselves, the goals that we want to set out for ourselves, and really getting rid of that, like, one of the questions that I always ask women is, who do you do it for? And the first thing they say is their kids. So at some point, when are you going to say, like, I'm going to do it for myself? Because the obvious answer, if you're a dope ass mom, and I feel like women that I surround myself with are dope moms, at what point do you say to yourself that I'm going to do this shit for me and not feel like a bad mom because you said I'm doing this for me? Like, so that's why that's my ultimate goal, for women to go into 2023 feeling like they're doing this shit for them next year. And we're jump starting at November 6th. So I'm super happy to have this platform that's been built, like, with not just myself, but my Sip and Speak Club members. I love them to death, and that's all of the ladies that's inside of the club. So if you want to be in the club, go to ashley@stokes.com, get your tickets, and sign up for the club too, and you can get all the updates.
I was just about to ask you, how do you feel somebody like Brie and you wanted to go?
Yep, definitely go to, you can go to my website, Ashley S. Stokes. That's why I keep telling you, don't forget the S because it's a brand. It's a
Ashley S. Stokes.
brand.
Yeah, when you branding, you gotta, you know what I mean?
But don't forget to go to my website, ashleysstokes.com, or you can go to my Instagram. I'm always posting something there. The tickets are in my Instagram. It's on Facebook to Ashley S. Stokes, Instagram Ashley S. Stokes. So you'll be able to catch like all of the content there.
Give me the date again.
November 6th, 3 to 6 p.m.
Freight
38, 838 South First Street. And you want to come dressed to impress because we are going out with a bang. Like, I mean, put that shit on, sis. Like, this is your time to feel yourself and you know what I mean?
He's
like,
upset that he cannot participate down there, okay?
Like, it's
he want to put that shit on.
Our time to like really just flow together. And I'm so excited.
He ain't wrong. He said he want to put that shit on.
I am so excited. Like, y'all have no idea.
Okay, so this is what the third one.
This gonna be some.
So this is the fourth Sip Speak, and this one I'm not even playing. We coming with that flame. Like we going out with a bang for real because I really I don't like to use the term empowered because I personally feel that it's a mean girl thing and I don't create that. So I don't create or curate those type of vibes. Like I am a person who, you know, I'm a person who grew up with mommy issues. So the women that I surround myself with has shown me that there are great women out there and great moms. So building it, I want to celebrate them and I want to be able to help them feel good because they are helping me just as much as I'm helping them. Like, and a lot of times I always tell like my people, like, y'all don't know, it's for me too. Like, cause I need this just as much as you do. So we need each other and being able to do it like on this platform.
Are you recording?
Am I recording what? Yes, the event will be recorded. It's only 3 men that's allowed at this event.
So I would like to offer Kinsey services to come record.
Oh, for the free? For the free?
Yeah, but
But you gonna need to
he's marketing for real.
Yeah, this dude Don is trying to.
I'll definitely come carrying equipment.
He is trying to espionage this joint.
Marketing his way up into the club.
Trying to.
Like,
Ocean's 11.
I mean, hold on. Blackout offers a ton of services that y'all could that you guys could benefit from. Sound, all that. I can come do the sound. I can come, carry Kinsey bags while he record, whatever you need.
And they're gonna be off in the corner with the fine women.
It's gonna be
exactly
baddies. All of the ladies that speak is bad. Like if you missed the last one, like you really don't want to miss this one. And I'm not even saying that because it's my event. I'm saying that because that's the feedback. Like I'm not missing the next one.
Well, the dope, if I could say it myself, like the dope thing about you, not only personally, even how you support us creatives. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like for instance, I didn't get a chance to go to TZ's day party.
Yeah.
But I got to go through you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because you did a full on reel.
Yeah.
And that's not your party. You don't gain nothing from that. You don't make $1 off of it, nothing. And you just wanted to show how your friends and people that you support was doing something dope.
Yeah.
So that's why I think people ought to support you when you do shit blindly, because every time I see you, that's the type of time you deal.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Like a lot of times, my friends, they be telling me how my reels are, and they really get like the gist of how their events are. So I'm kind of like, dang, I'm really good at this. But I am, because y'all know
they charge for that, don't they?
They do. They do. And I said that I'm actually.
As a matter of fact, I got a Rover reporter role for you.
Okay, so let me tell y'all for real. What I'm actually going for, we can definitely talk about that. What I'm going more into is my director bag. Because if y'all know, I also have a book, Lost in Child Welfare.
Shout out Lost in Child Welfare.
Yeah, shout out to all of the people.
Where they can get that at?
Also on my website, Ashley S. Stokes, as well. And
it's all facts, real talk.
Too. Yeah, like
her life experience. Shit gonna sound like a movie, but it really happened.
It is, like, for real. If you know me, you know me. And you've been there, like, oh yeah, I can corroborate that story. That's a fact. And I think that's the good thing about telling my story, because I am a storyteller naturally. So I believe that, like you said, I'm always at my friends' events. So I want to be able to tell stories through anything that I do. because that's just what I want to do, and I want to go into directing my life story and putting it on a platform like Antoine Fisher. If anybody ever seen the movie, you already know what it looks like. And I want to paint that picture and narrate that story for me so that people can actually see, like, yeah, y'all think this situation was all peaches and cream. Like, dang, you don't look like what you've been through. Man, let me show you what it really looked like. And then I want to have a happy ending to it, because I feel like a lot of movies that when people go through things, it's always that down slope type of thing. And I'm like, I don't want to be able to show that. I want to be able to really come into my now, right now, showing me what I'm doing right now to actually get to that point. So it's some dope things that I have coming out. My experience, I work with Dooch on that. Shout out to Terrell College. Shout out to Dooch. We having an actual thing coming out very, very soon. And then just moving forward, book 2 come out as well. So I just did the photo shoot for that yesterday. So
oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I got some things. Coming in the works, y'all. So
small commercial break before we move on to other things. I got to make sure I shout out my sponsors. Shout out Ricardo and Moore for providing us with the liquor and all that. She's sipping the wine right now. He got more than just tequila. He got a wine, and then also down there we got the Ricardier, which is Boosie juice, pretty much mixed with apple juice, apple flavored.
You didn't even tell me.
Boosie doesn't. Okay, so Boosie juice used to be a vodka. They don't do that anymore. Boosie does a cognac now. And it's called
it's a cognac?
It's cognac.
Okay, I don't want none of that.
Oh yeah, I need to try
I thought he said Boosie juice as in like a nice little wine.
No. You drinking it. Now
I do like the wine. The wine.
Midnight Love.
Boosie juice used to have me lit.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because we did have Boosie juice on Smoking Gossip. We sure did. That was one of our first. Shout out Steve O, been sponsoring shit for a long time, man. Shout out Steve O, been holding it down. Ricardo Moore, right? You know what I'm saying?
She already has one. Oh, okay. That might not be
and then,
the new one.
Yeah, and then also shout out Hustler, the Hustler collection. We got waters, energy drinks, you know what I'm saying? Blunt wraps, hookah pins.
They got their own blunt wraps. Yeah, okay, I was gonna say they got their own lighters too. Like what?
No, they don't know.
Let me see how this looks.
That's a cute little bottle.
It is a really cute
bottle. It looks real efficient.
Oh, we had some red solo.
I did. I don't know what happened.
You're gonna get nice and litty with that 35%.
Yeah. So that was our small commercial break right there.
No, I'm good.
You know what I'm saying? So on that note, we'll get into these topics that I got on here. And first of all, something that's had the city shook since it dropped. Well, it's had the world shook, but it's really affected our city because it happened here. And that's the Jeffrey Dahmer movie. That is on Netflix currently right now.
It's a series.
It's a series, actually.
And it damn near because people watch it through like a movie. Would you like me to pass that?
It's really good. The acting in it, the cinematography, like how accurate, like the outfits was. Like the guy told me, like if you look at the pictures, like of how he used to dress, like they even had it down to that little house stood or whatever hat that he had on. Like everything was
his demeanor, everything,
Mm-hmm.
like just everything with how the movie was portrayed.
You just could tell that it wasn't in. That was the only bad thing.
I thought they did a good job of representing Milwaukee.
Yeah,
I think they did a good job at that. But the thing is that we know how our houses here look. We ain't got no Adobe brick houses. That's California and all of that. And every building you saw in there was like that. So it was like you knew this wasn't Milwaukee. That was the only thing that I didn't like, was that you could tell. Because at one point he was describing like West Dallas and the Marquette area. And then you look at it and it's like, that ain't the Marquette area. Like, come on now. Like, where are we at? But other than that, I feel like they did a great job.
You think they would have pulled some stock footage for that? Like, I'm sure it was a ton of stock footage.
I'm sure it was a ton of stock footage. Also, you know, it's been this argument online about it being insensitive to the victims.
No, I think it's actually,
to the families of the victims.
In my personal opinion, I think it's actually showcasing them more so than his story, because I feel like more people know about him and how he was, but I think they also got an insight of how gruesome it was for the family members to find these things out and the things that they've gone through, aside from the racial things that we already know that was going to be in the movie. So
but a lot of people didn't know that part too.
A lot of people didn't know that part though.
Like, I feel like this movie, there's been literally probably like 9 other movies about Jeffrey Dahmer. There's probably been like 50 different
this has showcased more of
him. everything was about, Jeffrey Dahmer, the monster, the boogeyman, and glamorize like what he did, comparing him to Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger and all of that type of stuff. This actually like gave the victims a name, told you the victim's story. Like Tony, they tell you about his birth and his struggle being deaf and his disabilities. Like it went into making you feel for the victims as opposed to being like, ooh, who he gonna kill next? Like a little, like how they did Ted Bundy. It was almost like a horror film, like where you were kind of like anticipating the next situation, where in this you really felt like when he met somebody, you like, oh no, not him, don't do it, because you knew what was coming, but it's like they made you feel for them as opposed to like focusing on him. I feel like they did a great job. I just feel like Milwaukee has its way of literally being negative about every damn thing. When we get a celebrity that come out of Milwaukee, we find a way to drag them down. We find a way to bash them. When we have a movie that's coming out of here, or a series come out of here, we find a way to drag it and bash it down. And I feel like that's literally what we've been doing to this. Like in the past, there's been other movies based on him. I don't think they paid the victims either.
No, they didn't. I didn't. Me personally, I didn't watch it because I grew up during the shit. Not that I met Dahmer or seen him or anything, but I remember catching city buses and my mother being terrified while the Jeffrey Dahmer shit was going on. You get what I'm saying? So I remember like growing up here, so I don't want to relive that. Like I remember watching the trial with my grandmother, old girl snapping in the courtroom about how her mother can't bury her brother because you ate him. Like I don't want to relive me personally. Now anybody who want to watch it, that's you. That's cool. I'm talking about me personally.
See, I was 2 years old, so I don't know nothing about this.
The girl who played her,
did an amazing.
That's scary how people been reenacting
that.
But like for me, even I've lived here my whole life. The only thing I know is that the whole like myth about, well, not even the myth, but the legend of Jeffrey Dahmer. He used to eat people. That's all I know. I didn't know anything about the police neglected the situation.
Exactly.
Now that
they took that Asian boy all the way back to that man.
And I didn't know that either.
I didn't know any of this.
His nephew went to school with him. So I knew that whole.
See, I knew nothing about this until now.
He escaped, and they took him back. He escaped damn near naked.
His brother escaped, and then he escaped, and that's my whole thing. His brother escaped, and he got convicted of being molested, and the police put his ass right back out there for him to kill his brother.
That's because, but it also shows you it was because of where he lived.
The area.
It's the area that he lived in.
The genius in his psychopathy was that he lived in the middle of the hood where he knew they didn't give a fuck.
I don't think that he did that purposely, though.
Oh, no,
he was struggling broke for the longest. Jeffrey kept a job, but Jeffrey was broke as fuck. That was what he could afford.
Jeffrey had a good job.
And also, if you look at it, he wasn't really attracted to white men. The one person he fantasized, the one person he thought was most beautiful was like this Hispanic guy, and he found him to be the most beautiful thing.
No, Anthony was the most beautiful. That's
Anthony Sears. Yeah, he was
I believe his that's the one that was deaf. I believe
that's Tony. Tony was
Tony. Yeah,
Tony.
I believe that that's the head that was actually in that refrigerator. Because he was like, you're the most unique one that I found when they went to that restaurant. And when I watched the movie personally, or the series rather, I felt like I thought more psychological. So I went all the way back to like what us as normal people could do. Like if you watched it, he started out as a kid who was always by himself. So first of all, as I'm not a parent, but as some people who have kids, I feel like we do that a lot. Like we let our kids go play alone or do whatever it is. And then also we don't think about the fact that his parents were married and then ended up getting divorced. That happens a lot as kids. So, and then they arguing in front of each other. How many people could say they haven't argued with their baby daddy in front of their kids? So you kind of have to think about what it does to him. So I'm thinking
it held a mirror up to people and made them kind of look at themselves.
No, in my personal opinion, I'm thinking psychological. Like, okay, how could this kid think like, okay, dang, ain't nobody paying attention to me? Now the father. So if y'all also paid attention, the father said to the wife that I have thoughts. I had those same thoughts. I just had the human decency not to do it to people. I did it to animals. So you were a sick fuck anyway because of what you can even express. Like, and you never had therapy about this. So what it was, you put that thought or that thing into your child, and your child was doing that, and you encouraged it, and you saw how enticed he was. He was so enthused with the fact that you were gutting an animal from being alive to dying. Like, it was a thing for him. So as a parent, I'm gonna sit there and be like, you're a little too enthusiastic about this. Are you thinking about maybe surgery? Like, what are you thinking about? And I'm not a parent, so I'm just thinking more psychological. Like, where was this kid's head at when the parents was ignoring him? They were arguing. The mom's on drugs. We got people in our lives. We all got that uncle who, you know what I'm saying, that we knew, like, damn, he wasn't right when we were kids. And then now we know, oh, he was on drugs. So let's be real and let's be honest at the same time. And I'm not making excuses for anybody, because I always think psychologically, and that has something to do with that psychology degree, but that's a different story. But I just think that we have to internalize it and understand that a lot of the things that was going on in there, we really didn't pay attention to. So we kind of lost the art of, okay, yeah, he was killing and eating people.
At the end of the movie, when they like took his brain, I was actually really disappointed by that. And the reason being is kind of like stemming off of what she said, because all that what she said on top of that, when he was in the womb while his mama was pregnant, she was taking like 30 different prescription drugs.
Exactly. And
going
we don't know
out
how
into
that
the blistering cold. Like, he's in there as a baby suffering. Like, you saw how prescriptions back then made Tony go deaf. And they didn't even know about that, because this is way back before, you know, stuff has been tested and proven and whatnot. So think about before he even got to playing with dead animals, he was already fucked up.
Think about how much his parents didn't know, right?
Because they were too busy pointing the fingers at each other. She was always mad at the dad. The dad was always saying it was her.
Not even that. From a psychological standpoint, like Ashley said, they don't know. They didn't know then that a sign of psychopathy is torturing animals.
Exactly.
Like, they didn't know,
because that wasn't the thing. And that's exactly what I said. I said, well, immediately when I posted that I was watching it, there was a few people who actually reached out. I started watching it because you said it made you think psychological. Then I asked them, like, get back to me and tell me what you think. Absolutely, it made you think psychological, because for somebody who's been through some shit, I've been through foster care, so I'm already knowing, like, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and tap in on a different side of, oh, he's killing people. We know that what he's doing and how he's doing it, right? It ain't no secret of how he killed people.
Yeah,
that's why I said it's the thought process of how he did this and when he did it, precisely where he did it at. Yeah, we get all of the racist, and that's why I say, okay,
there's so many levels.
It's so many levels, but let's not forget that his parents started ignoring him very, very young.
Listen, and I got cussed out on Twitter for saying exactly this, because I was like, I feel for the victims, I don't take anything away from it. Though. But my whole thing is, again, that man, like, on several occasions went to his dad and other people like, hey, I think something is wrong with me. I'll be having some dark fantasies, like, and I don't think this is normal. And his dad was just kind of like, oh, we're gonna put you in college. That's gonna fix everything.
So, and that's one of those black people things where we do as when we get to saying things like, I'm depressed. Get you some water.
Go to church.
Go to church. We're gonna pray it out of you, right? So again, think psychological. We can translate it into what we are doing, but at the same time, we do certain shit too. And somebody just said, like the thing is, we need to pray for you, because, you know, I know you never talk about girls. Like, again, imagine the things that psychologically, y'all, that he never felt accepted for what he did. So that's the push away. So now I'm gonna go really do what the fuck I want to do and do things that I'm actually. How are you even getting off from touching, like, insides of animal parts? Like, you know what I mean? You couldn't do that with a live human, and the fact that you did heinous acts to them after the fact because you wanted to create some type of live-in zombie. That's psychological. I didn't want to hurt them, so the motherfucker thought before he started doing this shit.
And he always said that was like, he felt no pain. I didn't want them to suffer.
Right, because, and then he's like, he told us that, like, I knew what I was doing with the lawyer. Yep. So the fact that, again, that white thing, well, something is wrong with you. You can plead, and we can plead, we can do this, and we can tell the judge this, but you got to say this. And he
was like, no,
I knew what I was doing.
He said, but I wasn't.
I wasn't insane, so
they tried to make
he was so honest.
They tried to make him take the Gacy the same.
They tried to turn that story and flip it as
Dahmer said, "No, I remember that from the real trial.
I know what's going on, and I know what I did. So every time I watch things like that, I always immediately start thinking psychological.
Like I talk to my OGs.
If you don't,
I talk to some of my OGs. And like I told Bree before we got on the air, I haven't really been paying attention to people who weren't born or alive, who got like harsh opinions about this or weren't even old enough to remember it. But I have been talking to, shout out Tony Neal, called me from Florida the other day. Some of my OGs that used to be around Yo Pops KC back in the day, I guess they used to hustle in the Wales area and sell dope out of that building. And they said how bad crack smelled. Now, I'm somebody who's been in crack houses and trap houses. Crack is unbearable when it's being cooked. So they said Dahmer's smell was 10 times. It used to overbear. They were able to cook crack in the house in that building without nobody noticing because that's how bad Dahmer had the building smelling already. They said we used to see him all the time. Like I see people online calling him Jeffrey. Tony Neal says that triggers me because we knew Jeffrey for real. And he said if I knew Jeffrey was doing that shit, I'd have whooped Jeffrey's ass. He said every day I'd be mad. He said this happened 25 years ago. And he said I'm sitting up watching this shit with my wife who's from Florida. She know nothing about this. And he said it's triggering me while I'm with her. And she don't understand why it's doing that to me because he like, I could have did something about this shit. You see what I'm saying? He's got survivor's remorse pretty much.
But a lot of people that have posted, because again, I was only 2 years old, but the people that I've seen that's posted where they were like kind of like, you know,
in the vicinity,
in maturity, basically, like at that time, they said that like a lot of people knew him and were friends with him. Yeah,
he was
friendly around
Tony Neal said that he was so disarming. But that was a part of his ammo.
If you think about it, like, you know, that's how, like, okay, for example, when the cops came into how inviting he was into the home, right? So, and have a whole dead body next to his bed. That don't make you alarmed.
And even when he got to prison, I understood why the brothers felt he was racist because somewhere along
they were intimidated because he wasn't violent.
That too, but also in the streets. In the ghettos, we felt Dahmer was a pure Nazi, racist, sick motherfucker. That's how black people viewed him.
That's how they viewed him.
That's how we viewed him, period. You get what I'm saying? Even though that wasn't the case, that's how he was viewed. The media painted him to us that way. And then because he didn't speak often, we didn't know what to think. It ain't never like he came out and was like, oh, I like black people. He never said shit. So we didn't know what he just said. I'm praying to God and he's going to forgive me. That's all Dahmer ever said.
He had a lot of autistic traits to him too, where like when you wanted him to explain himself or when he should have, or even like the situation like we were talking about with his dad, he could have very well used his white privilege to say, I'm insane. I don't know what I did.
But he used his white privilege to know that them cops wasn't going to do shit when they came to his house. That's what a white, and I'm telling you, that's why he went to that door in such confidence. Something in him let him know.
He wanted to be caught. That's
every time I watch these serial killers, Wayne Gacy had that white privilege.
They have that. Every serial killer wants to be caught.
He wanted to be caught.
Every serial killer wants to be caught. It's part of it's part of the thing about being a serial killer is that they want to be caught and they want to be immortalized as this.
Do you know how many times in that series that he fucked up and messed up? He even drugged himself at one point. He was so sloppy and stupid with the stuff he was doing. He wasn't fighting like other serial killers to cover his tracks and whatnot. When he was keeping bodies, it was because he genuinely wanted to keep the fucking bodies. It wasn't because I want the police to find it. But he lived in the trap house on 21st and Wells, and that's why he got to get away with that shit. That's my point here. If he lived in any other apartment building, he wouldn't have got away with that shit. That lady complained.
He worked at Ambrosia.
My grandmother worked there.
That's a good job.
Question. Why y'all on this? Because I saw a post about this, and I don't know if this is true, and I don't like to spread false rumors. Was he putting stuff in the chocolate?
That's what people was trying to say, but they never proved it.
Okay.
Because Ambrosia was responsible for Hershey, M&M. I'm talking about they were the chocolate provider until they went out of business.
Okay.
So that means the whole country would have been eating.
I saw that, and I was just hoping that wasn't true. And it didn't even seem like something in his character, because again, when he kept it for himself. He wasn't out here bothering people. He did stuff.
That was his
it's the cannibalistic side of things, and it's such a shocker to us who don't know our history, because these motherfuckers who started this country were cannibals. Like white men who started this country, they had cannibalistic behaviors and shit. They ate people. You know what I'm saying? They practiced that. You get what I mean? So
Who the hell was he?
like, shit, you don't want me to go down that slippery slope.
We
like,
we don't want to be
for example, 8:45. You know how Uber Eats is. Yeah. So you got to think about the forefathers of this country were responsible for the slave trade. Now, the way slaves are depicted in movies is the soft version. Like you said, Dahmer just gave you all the soft version of Netflix. Yeah. All them slave movies you watch, that's the soft version of how slaves were treated. Yeah. George Washington, on our dollar bill, the teeth in his mouth, if he smiled, those were dead slaves.
Well, they weren't wooden teeth.
Those weren't wooden teeth. Those were dead slaves' teeth that they took out of a slave's mouth and put in his motherfucking mouth. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to get you to understand. Dahmer comes from a line of those people who just, at some point in time in our society, they decided to act like that was a bad thing that he was doing. Now all of a sudden they wanted to bastardize the people who were cannibals, a part of their shit. You get what I'm saying? But that shit runs in their lineage. In our history, we have no history of that. From us in America, Africa, Jamaica, look it up. Even with voodoo and Haiti and shit, we don't eat people.
I want to clear that up. I want to also just make sure that people understand the voodoo aspect of that. That doesn't mean that it's evil.
Evil at all. At all.
So just,
that's a condensation that they try to put on it to push their narratives forward. Correct. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. And you would think when you think voodoo that we eat people and fuck blood and do all that. We don't do none of that shit. They're the ones that practice all of that weird type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So
they glorify barbarians. That's what they
and that's what barbarians did. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So they come from, that's the history of who they are. So for America to be desensitized by what Dahmer did, I'm not surprised. Like, I'm not. For us to be oversensitized about it is not surprising to me either.
I think it's just new.
Yeah, some of the stuff
I think
like I've never heard of, and it's like, just it's crazy.
Like, I remember that's what made me start detesting police officers in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, was the Dahmer case. Yeah. The police used to pull up in my neighborhood and give us baseball cards. I used to play PAL. That was the Police Athletic Association. My coach was the police officers. All the niggas in the ghetto, the PAL Center, 24th and Burleigh. Yeah. All of us in the ghetto, we played for the police officers. White cops were our coach. It was not that kind of community. Once the Dahmer shit happened, it showed us that they all don't give a fuck about us. They promoted these guys. These guys got raises and awards. They were heralded around this city. And they were magnetized. Like, I remember TV shows, like, it wasn't TMZ. What used to come on back in, like, Action? It used to be like this, something like a TMZ, but it was different back in the 90s. And I remember Extra. And I remember Extra was the type of shows that was exposing our police force. Yeah. They went after the police force. They didn't go after Dahmer, his victims, nothing. They went strictly after the Milwaukee Police Department and their negligence in allowing Dahmer to become that, because he doesn't become that if they don't be that negligent in that case. Exactly.
You let a naked man escape.
Come on, man. Bleeding.
Yeah. Wintertime.
What a lady, what a black lady telling you, we just heard this boy screaming for his life. I don't give a fuck what he tell you. Yeah. I know what I heard. Oh, lady, go back in your apartment.
And honestly, I feel like had they not found the pictures when the guy Tracy escaped, he would have got away that time. Yeah, he would have got away again.
Yeah,
like,
because the thing about it is,
he was adamant. He was adamant about like raising his case. Like, he just tried to kill me. Mm-hmm. And once they said like, "Can I check around?" It's almost like as if Dahmer was like,
in that room, I smell it.
And he was ready to go.
But they smelled it. They smelled it. But they were like curious to know what that was, and after the cop just started checking around, like, he's like, "Whoa, this shit is real."
Ain't no curious to know
like,
what that smell is.
They said
they know what the smell is, and I get that.
So when they walked in there, they should have known.
They knew what it was. They just couldn't.
My aunt used to run OB funeral home. Every once in a while, I would go help pick up bodies. There's no mistaking that smell.
Not at all.
So how would y'all walking in there knowing that smell as police officers?
That's how you know they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's the most disheartening and heartbreaking situation. And even though if Dahmer was just a victim of circumstance in that situation with the police aiding and abetting him, Black people still hold him accountable because he used his white privilege to commit these crimes, to get away with these crimes, even if it wasn't Even if he was blind to what he was doing, it's just still the fact that his skin color allowed him to even do that in the area that he was doing it in. Because if he was in Waukesha, eating little white Billy meal, because soon as they found out about him, that body he had in Ohio, man, them Ohio people shot up here because they had been looking for that little white boy since the 70s or 80s or whenever Dahmer took that body. They never stopped looking for that little white boy. Soon as they found out about Dahmer in Wisconsin, Ohio was up here on his ass about that body. You see what I'm saying? But our bodies, it wasn't that type of shit on it. You get what I'm saying? Wasn't no Fed and FBI investigation and all that type of shit behind them black bodies. You know what I mean? So that's where black people, our anger come from. I get what y'all saying. And when I hear what y'all saying and I take it into a psychological term, I don't really think of it as like damn, you can hate Dahmer, but do you really hate Dahmer? Like it's a systematically created thing. You get what I'm saying? It's like I hate the Kia Boys, but at the same time, it's a systematically created thing for real.
Because and they don't hate me again, but I just don't. My blame more so goes towards the police and the people around the guy who are enabling him.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it's like, and I'm not saying that because that's a slur, but if somebody has a disability to where they're messed up to they don't really realize, because he said he wasn't insane, don't get me wrong, but he was still twisted.
Yeah,
like he was off. So you can't blame somebody who's not in their right mind for the stuff that they kind of take part in.
The jobs he got was white privilege.
Yeah.
Everything that he got.
Everything that
and you notice when they brought up white privilege to him, he was so confused.
Yeah.
He didn't know what the fuck that
That's
was. They was like,
point.
yeah, you in the black community doing this. And he was like, that's all I could afford.
Yeah,
like,
he really, because he really poor.
Like,
His people wasn't affluent white people.
and they
like
kept kicking his ass out. Like, it was like he was a victim also of circumstance, but he did what he did, and as wrong as it is, and I feel for the victims, but I feel like everybody around him was more to blame than he was. That's just how I see it.
I agree. The glorification of serial killers is something that's going on right now, because soon as Dahmer, Donna tell you, I said
That's
this.
not true.
This last week.
Do you know what the number one podcast in the country is?
This has been going on though for the longest. When serial killers were actually existing back in the 80s, they were all the rage. Like, that's how we got all these horror movies based upon serial killers.
No, I'm not saying it's new.
No, he's saying it's an American. That's the American.
That's an
way.
American thing.
Yeah, like.
So now you take it. So now, because we're not scared of Freddy Krueger and Dahmer anymore, you got to get real people.
Yeah, they want to tell the real stories.
Yeah,
because the old stuff, like we don't pay attention to that no more. They done made like 15 Halloween Michael Myers. We don't care about that shit no more. So they trying to tell you something that's gonna really scare you. This really happened.
They killed Michael Myers because
crazy.
they made more money.
Yeah. After,
dead.
I think that the thing about it is like they're showing all of these things like that. In actuality, there are serial killers that are out here like really doing this shit. Not saying
they just don't exist as much because of how technology has progressed. Like they can't get away with it as much. Back then it was easy as hell to be a serial killer. That's why it was so video.
Because
DNA didn't even come into effect until like the late 80s. They can test that.
Dahmer's series or whatever shot to #1 on Netflix. And then I swear to God, the next day they had Gacy on there. They put the Ted Bundy movie back on there.
Really?
Zac Efron movie was not on there. They put that motherfucker back on there. But I get it, like, wow, that's big biz. Like, oh,
it's October too.
You like the cheeseburger?
That is true.
Well, guess what? We got the triple cheeseburger. No, that's just how business works. Oh, you like McDonald's meals? Well, we got the supersized version of this motherfucker. That's just how business works. Like, oh, you like Dahmer? Well, check this collection of serial killers we got out here.
It's crazy though, because for Dahmer to be like the little Milwaukee like legend or whatever, I honestly think he's the worst out of all of them, because nobody
because it's the gruesome.
No, yeah, he was eating people.
Nobody.
So it's how it's.
I said that the other day. He was eating people.
He
like,
is the
Ted
worst.
Bundy was killing women.
So
John Gacy was
there
killing
are other.
boys.
So how they rate serial killers is off the number that they had, but Jeffrey Dahmer beats them all because of how he killed them and the things that he did. So if y'all notice, like he rarely ate in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So like it's a real thing that he ate the men that he killed. Like, and then he would say like, "Oh, I got bad meat." Yeah, you got bad meat because motherfuckers is rotting in your refrigerator from you eating them. And it's like a thing. Okay, I'm gonna just cut
and not
a
only
piece of the heart out today.
Remember, he brought up that after
like,
he wouldn't have sex with him until after he killed him.
That's what I'm saying. The gruesomeness, like the things that
because when they were trying to tell him he was insane, they were like, "You're just like John Gacy."
He's like, "No, I'm not."
dig them up and have sex with them. He said, "Don't say that. Don't say that."
It's sick. Like the things that he did.
He was a real life Hannibal Lecter.
No, he's the version. After I watched everything, I started to do some research. I'm a smart motherfucker, and I started reading some shit.
Man, I'm like you.
So I want to know who's the number one worst serial killer.
And they consider it Gacy because he got the most bodies, right?
No, it's another guy. He's
Is it the Nightcrawler? The Nightcrawler had like over 50 victims.
So
you're talking about American serial killers? Because Jack the Ripper was
Jack the Ripper was number one in the world. Yeah, he was number one in the world. But I thought in American history, I thought it was Gacy because Gacy had 33 bodies.
No, it's something.
No, the Nightcrawler had more than him. He was killing old
confirmed.
people. Yeah, the Nightcrawler had like 50 victims. They did his documentary. I'm gonna look it up.
When we talking about serial killers, our numbers is gonna be way up this episode.
Man.
So the difference of it is, like, I started to look for, like, I wanted some research and some facts. I'm like, damn, who's the worst serial killer? And then I looked for the names. And then I just was like, okay, he's the worst because he got more numbers. But they went back and said Jeffrey Dahmer is the worst because it's not the number that he 17 compared to somebody who killed like 100 people. That's okay. That's a low number to 100 people, but eating, cannibalism,
sex with the dead
bodies, and living zombies. Yeah. He literally wants to put like string through their brains and almost have them like on a fucking coat rack, like, and like Dancing with the Dead type thing. And he was so consciously saying, I don't want to hurt them. They didn't feel anything. Like
Ricky Ramirez killed
23. I'm telling you, I think it's Gacy because they say Gacy got the highest, but like she said, Dahmer's crimes were worse.
His crimes were worse.
Gacy got the highest though.
Yeah, Dahmer is the worst one because of the exterior.
Because they found
Ted Bundy killed it.
Bundy killed so many 30-some women.
Yeah, he was but I think he was like 31 because Gacy was 27 boys they found underneath his house, and then he killed 5 other boys that he just threw in the river and shit.
And then they found pictures of victims that they never even identified.
And it's still victims to this day that they still haven't. And his number just went up like a year ago.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like a boy body just came about probably like 2-3 years ago in his order. You know what I'm saying? And his shit just came up again,
right? And America loves it.
Yeah,
they love that shit. They love reading about it, listening to it, talking about it.
Is it bad that I'm one of them people?
Yes.
Because I watch kids.
I don't know if it's
like
all women. I said that. That's one of my women.
Especially black women.
It's just really interesting to me. Like I watched the what is that called? Like the TLC channel. The TLC channel will tell you like it's a show that comes on now that's like Deadly Neighbors, and it tells you about all these different feuds that we've seen on the news, the actual clips of like neighbors getting into it that results in crime. I watch stuff like that. Like I just love watching how like situations can escalate to get there, and like trying to understand, like she said, kind of like the mind frame of like
I'm all about the mind. I want
to
to know how you got there and the reason why you got there, because something in your life has triggered it to a certain thing. Like I think it's really important to connect those dots. Like as much as we want to try to ignore that shit, we really need to just start connecting dots. Like
shout out to Ray Royalty in the house, man.
Yeah, shout out Ray Royalty helping us out today, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Yo. I don't know.
I already it's black. It's that black.
Oh, she got her paper.
Mexican pizza.
We're not just talking about this in the last episode. Said if
episode before last, because you weren't here last episode.
Yeah, we did nigga day, remember?
Oh yeah.
So the last episode you was on, man. How they do a movie, but it's not in Milwaukee. I ain't watch it or trying to see that shit, but I heard that
he's going to explain to you why they didn't do it in Milwaukee.
Thank you, Grace. So the reason why it wasn't done in Milwaukee, and shout out to Tish Taylor. People don't know who Tish Taylor is. That is Jacob Lattimore's mom. That's my cousin, and she sent me a picture of one of his contracts, and one of the clauses in the contract is in state California law they can reenact anything that was on the news and don't have to pay the victims or the person that they make the movie about. So in the state of California, they have a law. So that's why they shot Dahmer in California, because they don't have to give Dahmer family or the victims no money. Because California has a law, state law. So that's why most movies are shot in California.
Right, in the green city.
Yeah. So that's why I wasn't shy here, because they didn't want to have to get nobody no money. So that already lets you know that they ain't giving nobody no goddamn money.
That's what.
So there goes
that was
your
my next question. Do y'all blame Netflix? Yeah. Do y'all feel like they should have done it here so that they?
You know what the
entertainment company for providing entertainment.
I don't believe you can blame an entity. Period. Yeah, exactly. You can't blame an entity.
Here's what I think. I think that yes, the family has a right to whatever is out there for anything, but do it make it better? No. However, I think that this again shows light for the family and how real it was for them. So it makes them relive it, yes, because that's traumatic for them to relive this whole thing. It's a very sensitive subject to talk about it. If it was somebody in your family, you would be very sensitive to it. So I get it, but for me, on the outside, I've learned a lot about how the families go. I never knew that part of it without this.
I'll be honest with you, they've been voiceless actually this entire time.
And you know why? Because they're hurting.
Yeah.
You're hurting inside because you can't change it. Here's something that you know you can't do. You can't sue. Like, now I gotta relive it. Like, it's in the pit of our stomachs. It's kind of like when we lose somebody. We all lost somebody that we love. Like, so start putting that shit into retrospect and put yourself into these people's shoes and try to kind of like
we can't tell them how to heal. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, they should be happy because it's giving a voice to the victims. And honestly, I've even said that myself, but we can't. No, I've even said it. Like, I felt like, because before I didn't know any of the victims. I didn't know nothing about the victims. All I knew was Jeffrey Dahmer used to eat people. So seeing this, it's like I learned who Tony was. I learned who his victims were. I learned about their life and how it came about. Learned about him, like, and the police here. Like, a lot of people have been saying fuck the MPD for like the longest, and you never understood why.
Since forever, right?
Then you see this, it's like, wow, like that shit is terrible. Like that little Laotian boy story, like literally breaks my heart every time.
They just calling and playing on people's phones.
Yeah, harassing their family after the fact. Like the whole situation is just terrible. But I feel like this was like the only good I feel like that could come out of it is educating people knowing about it, bringing light to the victims. Now we know their names. We can post them. We can share them, and not always post the serial killer and all that type of stuff.
Down, man. Boosie said, man, take that Dahmer shit
off. He also tells you to show your vagina for $1,000 on his live.
Yeah, that's exactly how he said it. Take that Dahmer shit down, man. That movie foul, man. That bogus, man. Take that down.
You know, Kodak Black needs to go.
Another rapper that I think a lot of people need to go is the baby done. Is my question. D.A. baby. Is he done? The baby's last album sold 15,000 copies in its first week. The one before this sold 150,000.
I think he got to get into pop or something.
So is he done or
I would say he's done.
I just think he's in a rough spot right now.
I would say he's done.
I think,
and I didn't want to say that because he had we talked about this before. Because I used to like the baby. I honestly like.
I did when he first came out.
Yeah, when he first came out, I loved him. But it's like when you could really look at somebody's actions and you can tell automatically like what they're trying to do. Like we like mystery. We like to be entertained. The fact that like this stuff going on with Megan. You flopped these like last couple of shows, and now all of a sudden you got a Megan lookalike. You're talking all this stuff about Megan. It's like he's doing things for clout now that you shouldn't have to do if your skills are like that good. We wouldn't need to hear about that.
Yeah, but, okay, so his publicist is to blame for this, right? Because in America, we know the solution, right? When you have a faux pas as big as the baby has had. You're supposed to shut the fuck up.
I feel like the baby publicist
and sit down for a year and a half.
Got to blame. Them little fuckers like the stuff that they get involved in. Like they publicist is probably pissed off at them.
Yeah,
and lawyers is pissed off at them.
Sure lawyers and publicists are pissed off.
I'm pretty sure, but you gotta go.
My thing with
the way you get away with the way you get over this type of shit is you go sit down and shut the fuck up. Look at Will Smith. He's shutting the fuck up.
Even Chris Brown, when the Rihanna shit happened, he shut the fuck up. You want to sit down and shut the fuck up. That's what you have to do. But this is what I'm saying. Like to hear them say what they just said. Y'all, you used to be a fan of his when he came out, right? You used to be a fan of his when he came out, right? Who was we talking about here the other day? LL Cool J. The cookie cutter of what today's rapper is. When you lose the females, you're done. You're done. Because we don't fuck with you like that anyway. We only like you because they like you. You know, for real. Especially our artists like the baby. Let's just be honest. We like you because the females like you. That little shit you was doing, it was cool, but the girls liked it. So we was really into it. Once you lost them, you're done. That's why you can put up a ticket sales for a show and only sell 500 tickets. Because 2,000 women, 3,000 women or whatever in that city, they're not coming to see you no more, my nigga. They cool on you. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, the music hasn't progressed.
We knew his music was gonna progress.
And it's people whose music don't progress and they still have a career. Yeah, and they still have a career.
As an artist, he's ludicrous. He's gonna give you the same thing every time.
But even Luda tried to do shit with Bobby Valentino.
I was just about to say Ludacris.
Luda would step outside his bag.
Outside of his box.
His flow is the same on every song.
No,
that's fine, but the music changed. Your flow can be the same. Pitbull flow never changed.
Not the same.
Now listen to the same.
The last couple of songs that he was putting out, where it was all like nothing but nasty songs, like all of them sounded exactly the same. That did not sound like his Stump song or the Blueberry Yum Yums and all of that. It did not sound like his stuff back then. His flow changed. Like it just got very predictable and very nasty. It made you feel like dirty.
Ludicrous.
Him and Busta Rhymes. Like after a while, it was like stop talking about sex all the time, and y'all like old.
That's how Luda came out.
What was his? Well, yeah,
Fat Rabbit. No, Fat Rabbit. Before Fat Rabbit is from the Timberland album.
Fat Rabbit is the song that made Ludacris famous.
And that's about a fat pussy.
But Stomp was like a commercial like thing, and that one didn't sound like
Splash Waterfalls, pussy pee popping on a handstand. Fat Rabbit. I think the guy has a history of being like a porn rapper.
Not all the time. Get out the way. He had all types of creative stuff going on. Pimping all over the world was creative.
He had a lot of female records. He had some down south shit that he tried to do. Yeah.
He was all over the place.
Yeah. He was a porn star.
Yeah.
He turned into that.
Luda was always that.
He
would have started if he started today, he would have started his career with OnlyFans.
Hey, me too. I think
Twista after a while just got too nasty.
I think Luda better than the Baby.
About that. That overnight celebrity song was really.
I think Luda's better than the Baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I used to top 20 rapper of all time.
Yeah, the Baby ain't. That shit ain't what's up.
I don't know who I would compare to the other Baby. Like on this level, because it looked
Ludacris.
No, Ludacris is not.
He is baby Ludacris. He is baby Ludacris.
That's disrespectful to Luda.
He's not as good as Luda. Harold Miner was baby Jordan, but he wasn't Jordan.
It looked like it walked
right.
It ain't that.
But it ain't that. Yeah, I mean, even from his music videos, the colorful animated music videos. That
was the thing that I respected about him was the music videos. That's how he kind of got me. The videos were dope. This is kind of dope. You know, the videos was creative. I was never a big fan of his music. I used to argue with Sport all the time. I thought he was overrated. People thought people were gassing him. But like I said, when the females like you, you can survive, boss.
I think that's how music survives anyway.
Yeah.
Women, period. If you don't give us something that's how music survives.
If you take when music had a financial boom, right? We switched over to streaming. I was talking about this with somebody who claims they're not a Beyonce fan, but every time I talk to them, it's more and more times where they're starting to prove to me that they
like Beyonce. Who is it?
So for example, like Beyonce was the one who dropped the album in the middle of the night, no promo, a video for every song on the album. The videos were on Apple Music because I remember going to watch the videos on Apple Music. Like nobody did that before her. So if you look at the two top women of like pop culture, from black women of pop culture at that time, you take B and you take Ree. They both billionaires right now. So that shows you that women fund the music because we ain't going to buy no Rihanna and Beyonce merch albums, 50 draws, Ivy Park. We ain't buying none of that shit. That's the top selling shit in the world.
A guy had asked, name an industry that doesn't involve sex that is run by women. And women said like nursing, healthcare, that type of thing. And somebody said music. He was like, no, music is a male dominated thing. Like men run that, like not women. So to hear you say like that is different.
No, I'm not. I'm saying it is still male dominated. But if you look at if you take 5 top artists from that era, you can't leave those 2 people out of it. I don't give a fuck about what.
Top artist wise, though, who was topping them in that era?
I mean, you had Wayne.
That's not a pop art.
Oh, you talking about?
Yeah, similar to Rihanna and Beyonce. Who was running the game other than them, even in their like time frame? Michael Jackson was before them. Justin Timberlake wasn't bigger than Beyonce.
He was on a level.
No,
he wasn't.
Stop it,
Justin Timberlake ain't never on Beyonce's level.
Stop.
Are y'all crazy? Justin Timberlake ain't never been on Beyonce's level. Not ever.
Yes, it was.
Not ever. And for you to even make that face, like it's disgusting. It's sick.
The man exposed Janet Jackson titty and came back and was still the #1 artist in the world.
Again, honey. That don't make
that wasn't white privilege. That wasn't white privilege. That was he went home. He shut the fuck up. Yeah. He shut the fuck up. Then he came back with great music with Timberland.
I'm done. Y'all just said Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I mean,
yes, he's as big as Beyonce.
I can't.
No, he's not.
Look at the numbers for
that time period.
Listen, you can go over in a little fucking village in China where people don't even know English or nothing about English. They will know who the fuck Beyonce is. They will not know Justin Timberlake. That's a damn lie.
Yes,
I got teenagers who don't know who Justin Timberlake is right to this very moment. That don't matter. No, and actually one of them is mixed. She's white and black. They was watching Trolls and his ass was singing. I knew his voice. They don't know who the fuck Justin Timberlake is. But you say Beyonce and Rihanna, they know exactly who that is. White, black, don't matter.
I get what she's saying. Impact on pop culture. That's what she's more speaking to. Not record sales.
Yeah, okay. The man got a #1 hit off an SNL skit. The man is huge. He's huge.
Were you dressed up as Beyonce?
No.
Oh.
No. Dick in the box.
Yeah, because that is actually his most viral moment. If you Google it, his most viral moment is when he dressed up as Beyonce on SNL of his career. That's funny that we talk having this debate, and that's his most viral moment in his career was SNL when he dressed up like
That's his most viral moment. Yeah, musically, that ain't got shit to do.
I'm just saying culturally impact. Justin Timberlake don't sell no clothes. Justin Timberlake don't really got no movies like that. So cultural impact on pop culture. He ain't fucking with Rihanna or Beyonce.
He got movies.
He's not in a class at all.
And he's a great actor. Unlike Beyonce.
How many movies
Justin
he got?
Timberlake has sold 32 million albums worldwide. How many albums has Beyonce sold?
That's the only person I can think of from that time period that could be in the argument, but he would still lose.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's bigger than her, but he's on her
114.
Yeah.
114.
Yeah.
Boy, Justin Timberlake.
They don't. Boy. So when they do Beyonce numbers, they count Destiny's Child.
No, that's not.
When they do Justin Timberlake
numbers, they don't count NSYNC. They don't count NSYNC.
What do you mean?
They don't count NSYNC. But they count Destiny's Child.
Beyonce was way bigger when she was solo. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Two conversations I ain't never going back and forth with. No fucking Beyonce and music. No. I won't even get into that.
I forget the Beehive attack.
Listen.
Justin Timberlake, you could have said somebody better than that. That's a damn insult.
Better?
Yeah, are you?
That is the dopest white artist of our generation. Here, it's not even an argument. It's not close.
I love Justin, and he got some longevity to him. Don't get me wrong, but I would much rather listen to Robin Thicke than Justin Timberlake.
I do like Robin Thicke.
Robin Thicke had one good album. The rest of that shit was trash.
That sex something.
When he broke up with Paula Patton, his shit was trash. It was done. It was trash.
He had 2 good albums until they got sued by Marvin Gaye. That's what really ended it. The Paula Patton shit is a joke, but the Marvin Gaye shit ended up. Because they sued the fuck out of him for real and T.I. for that shit. And he took the brunt of the shit. You know what I mean?
As he should have, because he should have been cheating on Paula. That was his karma.
Damn, Bree. Shit. So on some good news, the suspects in P&B Rock's murder have all been arrested. If you haven't heard the story, it was a young man and his father, believe it or not, which is sad.
The mother too.
And the mother's accomplice also.
I thought they said it was a cousin.
Nah,
The mom.
the mom, dad, and the son. The son did the actual murder.
17.
Yeah, the dad did the driveway, and the mother tried to hide them or some shit. Okay.
It was a family affair.
Yeah, family affair. So all of them were arrested. Also,
I just want y'all to go apologize
to his baby mama, as we said on this platform, that we didn't believe that what she posted had anything to do with what happened to him, and come to find out the police proved that also. Shit, that had nothing to do with him.
I want to know what that was though, like with those 3 people. Right, I understand it was a robbery, but how did that family know that he was there? Did they follow him?
They were sitting in the parking lot, they said 2 hours before he got there.
And they were just sitting
looking for a lick, I guess. It wasn't him. They don't have no history to P&B from my understanding. They were just looking for a lick.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And they actually had really good video
at that spot.
Yeah, it was a family thing.
That's what I heard. Is that area is like really bad.
It's a bad area.
Got robbed in that area. It's like hearing this news. The first thing that just pops into my mind is when he died. The first 3 posts on my timeline was P&B baby mama set him up. That's all I was saying. All of that. It's like people be so quick to spread fake news for clout. It's like disgusting. Like think about what y'all just did to like that woman's mental. Like she just lost like probably the love of her life, and then on top of that, y'all blaming her for his murder. Like y'all are sick. Like
she does have a monitoring culpability. Just from posting their location.
Police proved that didn't have shit to do with it. She's not culpable.
They were already outside.
Okay,
they saw him walk in with
listen.
They were
just because those people. Just because those people.
It was really good.
Just because those people weren't paying attention to her social and shit doesn't mean other people weren't.
But I'm saying,
and they could have beat somebody else in the punch who have been watching her social.
That's not what happened.
I'm saying even other people's narratives being that. To me, this dispels that narrative. You can't even say what the niggas in LA was gonna do because they didn't do it. Exactly. These motherfuckers who were sitting in the parking lot 2.5 hours before they even arrived at the restaurant did it. You see what I'm saying? A motherfucker who has a history of robbing people. This is what they do.
And on top of that, rappers post their food and places that they are. This happens all the time, and that's why they bring light to it to say stop doing it. But at the end of the day, people have done it all the time and have not gotten hit.
If he'd have got out at that restaurant at Roscoe's with security, they wouldn't have attempted to rob.
Yeah, they wouldn't have attempted to rob.
See what I'm saying? So that's more on P&B than it is on her. Like I was putting it on him the whole time. Yeah. He's culpable. He's bogus for even putting his baby mama in a situation like that. This is your kid's mother, bro. This ain't just some Instagram thought or some bitch you want to date with. This is the mother. This is and you Muslim. Man, come on, man. When niggas is lacking, they lacking, man.
You can't.
Accountability.
Accountability is accountability.
Right.
It's so sad. I feel sorry about what happened to him.
The thing is, he was moving like he was regular.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Not as an artist. You can't. You regular and people be getting killed. So, you know what I'm saying? They want your yays above your face. I'm just saying.
So I was happy about that news. And some sad news in hip hop. We lost a legend last night. We lost Coolio at the age of 59. Interesting factoid about Coolio, though, his estate is going to be very well taken on. He's going to have a very nice wedding because Coolio still had money, ladies and gentlemen. Coolio said.
Yeah, you said wedding.
I mean funeral. My bad, wedding, funeral. But Coolio said that Nickelodeon, the deal that he did with Nickelodeon to do Kenan and Kel's intro, Kenan and Kel still get paid royalty checks from that to this day.
Yeah,
the deal that they did with Nickelodeon back in the day. So that's a dope. Then also Gangsta's Paradise.
I was just about to say,
believe it or not, is the #1 rap selling song in history. I didn't know that. I just found that out today. Actual like retail sales. Yes, like retail out the store sales. Yep.
Gangsta's Paradise is bigger than Baby Got Back.
Yep, it's bigger than that. Yep. Because when you think about it, it's safer.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I worked at a school where I worked at a school where they had us sit in a motherfucking seminar, and that's what the seminar was about, Dangerous Minds. And then we had to do, a white man broke down that song to me, bro. You gotta think about me, Harvey, hip hop ass, 29 years old, sitting in there, and it's like a 60-year-old white dude breaking down Coolio verse to me. And I gotta do this for my job, my nigga. This is a part of, I had to take this, and I'm in there with other educators, and we're all in there taking that shit.
White people who break down verses be called. The man who broke down Jay-Z verse.
Yeah,
he was so cold.
Yeah, he snapped. He always breaking down whole verse.
He said, man, quadruple entendre. How could you say this man ain't the GOAT?
I said, dog, got on MSNBC and said that shit. He snapped. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know they talked about Hov on this network. I was like that.
He talk about him all the time.
Yeah, talking about that man everywhere. Also, back to some good news in hip hop. Kodak Black pays the rent of 28 families who are facing eviction for the next calendar year. So they won't owe any rent until October of next year. So we're gonna celebrate that great. You know, as much as we bash people, we have to celebrate.
See me, I'm white.
See, that's the ignorance that make me can't stand them.
He apologized for all that shit that you was bad about.
Did he?
Yeah, Lauren London and all of that shit. He apologized for it.
Didn't he make a Kobe comment too?
He Kobe comment. Yeah, he apologized. Said he was on drugs. He said he was on drugs real bad. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Rick James gave everybody an excuse. And out with that one, didn't he?
Bill's motherfucker.
Hey.
Man, that's so bad.
Hey. Some other good news in hip hop. All of Gunna's violent charges on his case have been dropped. And he also has 0 witnesses have named him in their statements. So he had a bond hearing yesterday. They adjourned on it. They didn't deny it. So that's good. He didn't get denied. The first 2 got denied. This last one got adjourned. So I think they meet again tomorrow morning or some shit like that.
You think he gonna get out?
I think so. I think Gunna's gonna get out because they thugs now. Not thugs now, but Gunna's gonna get out.
I think they're gonna stay there forever.
Oh, thug.
Yeah.
Thug taking it all.
Yeah, thug is he gone.
Forever.
Right, it's that deep. It's that
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
It's murderers, it's witnesses, it's messed up. It's
Rico not a joke.
yeah.
It's your name.
So
I thought I saw like not too long ago that like they couldn't do Ricos anymore.
Shit, you better check out what's his name. New York.
So guess who can't do Ricos? The federal government. So just like abortions, the state can do what the fuck they want to do. The government did the abortion thing, but it's by state. If we decide what we want to do,
And that's the Rico thing.
Same thing with Rico. Feds banned it. They like, we ain't spending no more money on that type of shit. Fuck them. We going after Bin Laden and all of these type of motherfuckers. Fuck them niggas. So the state said, no problem, we'll take it over.
Okay.
So yeah, it's by the state's choice. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this isn't a federal case. Like I tell everybody, these RICO cases that's coming against these brothers are not federal cases. They're from the state. Yeah, it's from the state of Georgia. You know what I mean? In connection with the city of Atlanta police, the federal police in Atlanta, everything. It's like a collaborative, you know what I'm saying, thing to get a case built. You don't know where you go with that one. We was just speaking about her. Rihanna will be this year's Super Bowl.
I was so happy to see that she just simply. I can't wait to get to the level of just posting a freaking hand and people just like
broke the internet. Had Popeyes copying it. Major corporations were copying that.
Like, oh God, like that's the level.
She just doing like
I think she's doing greatest hits. We're gonna do a greatest hits.
Rihanna, like y'all gonna get music when I feel.
You're gonna get
like
a greatest hits.
She's enjoying her life right
now.
At
the last MTV award, she did her Vanguard thing where she did like the live.
Super Bowl is a big platform.
I think you're gonna get a Fenty commercial. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
She better not play us out like that. She better
a whole bunch of Fenty.
Not just a commercial.
You heard Jay-Z, he said we pushing Fenty like fentanyl. He just told y'all that. That's why he said, yeah, we're gonna be at the Super Bowl selling that shit too. We selling that shit like that shit gonna be everywhere. He just told you that on the Khaled song. Hey, we selling Fenty like fentanyl. And a month later they announced, hey, guess who's the halftime show? Who picks the halftime show? Jay-Z. Yeah, that's his job in the NFL. He picked Dr. Dre last year. He picks the halftime talent.
Different money.
Yeah.
Listen, and I be watching too, like I've been watching like Money Back then, right? Mm-hmm. So if y'all pay attention to like him and
first rapper in history to walk out on a football team
on the Tennessee Titans. And I also heard the song even last year for the NBA, him and Gotti, what is the Stepper song? Yeah. Like I think that's opening up so many floodgates, and I'm just like praying to the universe, please don't let nothing happen to these people because I don't know what they done did in the past, and that doesn't matter to our business. But when you opening up doors to show other people, like younger guys, like yeah, you can be able to do things that you want to do. Again, I always think psychologically, you opening up things that you never even thought about. Like, yeah, we can talk on that street gang shit, but nigga, I got NBA money. I'm getting an NBA check.
Like when
they play every time they play my damn song, write that check for me. And then now you want into the NFL, that's different money. So that's bad money.
I agree. No, I'm like you. When I seen it online,
I'm like, oh,
when I seen it online,
that's new money.
that he was walking them out. You know what I mean? For the intro of the game, I'm like, oh damn, that's dope. That's fire. Like I was proud. Then when I woke up the next morning and read that he was the first rapper to ever do that, I'm like, oh shit, like that's major. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a whole different audience. Like Don said, it's a bigger platform. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder how long it's gonna take for them to do another white artist in the Super Bowl.
That's what I was gonna say. If
It's gonna be a
Jay-Z
while.
in charge of it, you probably gonna like.
You know what they might do? They don't. I think that what they'll do is they incorporate like some of those songs, like rock songs, into like give it a little bit of a spin.
Because that's why we had Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so we did since he's taken over the halftime. His first one was
Right.
no.
Yeah, because he did it.
No.
Who was the year before that?
Weekend.
That wasn't Jay.
That was Jay.
No, that wasn't Jay. He got the job after that. That wasn't Jay. The Weeknd got hired on his own. Remember, the Weeknd negotiated his own deal with the NFL for $8 million. Remember?
Right.
Yeah, he negotiated his own deal. Yeah, Jay wasn't there. Jay got the job right after the Weeknd shit.
So it's been Dre.
It's been Dre, and now we got Rihanna. This is only Jay's second one since he had the job.
Yeah, they're gonna be sick.
Yeah, because it's gonna be beat next year. Watch.
Yeah,
it's gonna be B next year.
If she feels like
If it's a money move if it's money on the floor, because this Rihanna move is a money on the floor. You just had a baby. We about to roll out the new 50 shit. What better place to roll it out at? Instead of buying an ad, like we probably would have did.
Yeah.
You're gonna perform. You are the ad. Fuck buying the ad. We're gonna get the best space because that's the best time slot at the game. It's the halftime show.
Yeah.
She's doing 50 lingerie.
Who knows?
Because if she come out,
But they probably don't want no more wardrobe malfunctions, right?
Yeah.
Ain't they scared of that? They scared of some
They
black
gonna be
titties
so-
or pussies or ass coming out on national television. That terrified America.
and it ain't gonna ever happen.
And again, yeah.
So they're gonna be so secure.
I watched the documentary about that. They're
gonna be so secure. Like even if there's ever anything like that to happen, they so wrapped and take. Even if it was an accident.
Yeah.
So like an accident can happen, you still ain't gonna see
that. Yeah,
They
right.
wrapped and take down some mandatory type thing. You can be out with your, you have a cat suit with your butt out. That ain't too much, but you got the little leggings and stockings all over your cat suit. So you good on that. That ain't too much, but nothing ridiculous at the time. They take
that's so true.
They better have Lizzo now.
I like
She
Lizzo.
get naked on purpose.
And that's good because that's a confident.
No,
black woman.
no. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me
I
wrong.
love Lizzo and how she don't. Lizzo don't give a fuck about what you say. What I say, she don't.
She shouldn't.
And I love that for her
I think she's very
because
pretty in
she
the face.
deserves to be beautiful
She's
and confident. And the fact that she is
She's
pissing
really fine.
black men off, like
she ain't got to.
y'all are weak for that. We can't be out here telling people like, why you so mad because she want to show her ass? It's her ass. Why? Because her ass, it got dimples and shit on it. Like, come on, people be forgetting how they people be looking
behind her. I don't want my little 3-year-old son seeing that big old ass.
Well, your son should be watching that ass.
I said, if I go to an NBA game and she's sitting in the seats in front of me, yes.
Well,
No,
now,
honey,
y'all.
you shouldn't have did that
She
at no
should
damn game.
not the NBA game. We gonna have to agree on that.
But that's my whole point about the Super Bowl. Like, she be on that.
Who, Rihanna?
So-
Lizzo, she be on that.
Lizzo,
She know not to
okay,
do
come on
it.
now. Rihanna can do it, but Lizzo can't. Why?
She
Because
showed up
gotta
at a
look
Lakers
good.
game.
I don't want Rihanna ass in front of my son either at the damn basketball game. I don't want nobody just bare ass in front of my son at all. Nobody.
I think that she's able to be free, but being able to do it that way,
Yeah.
okay, I understand. Maybe she should have had a long coat, is what you
Yeah, if
saying?
she had a
Okay.
performance, I wouldn't even care because
but it's the
performances
fact
be
that
much.
whatever
She was out there in the
whatever
crowd
she
and when
wanna
she
do.
stand
She dress
up,
how she want to dress.
everybody
She do
behind her
whatever she wanna
see
do.
it. Like,
But
girl.
it's a time and a place for everything.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I can't show up. I can't show up
She
in a
can't go
game
to-
with my dick out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
but
But you would be very inappropriate.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So, in some other hip hop news, NBA YoungBoy has earned over 5 billion on-demand streams. To explain to you what on-demand streams mean, that means people actually are typing in his name and searching him. 5 billion on-demand streams in 2022, not over his career, just in this calendar year.
So he
has that. Him and Drake are the only artists in rap to do that to this day.
When did he release this year?
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Nothing.
They listen
He's gotta
to his
release
own
the king
shit.
of YouTube.
He is.
Yep.
And he don't have to do nothing. I bet you if he tell these kids to go outside, run naked with their hands in their asshole, they're gonna do this shit.
Yeah.
And it's sick.
I like his music.
It's disgusting.
He's not a bad rapper, but
I can't.
Where's all of these fans? Because it just don't be seeming like he's that
I can't.
popular.
Well, the
It
reason,
be 18-year-olds doing whatever they want to do. These kids be doing. They
the reason
18
he doesn't appear,
following after him.
yeah, the reason he doesn't appear
It's
that
big.
popular to you because he hasn't been able to tour.
Right.
We have this conversation in 6
But
months because his tour
18-year-olds
starts next
love
month. His tour starts next month.
They love him.
We'll have this talk in 6 months, and his impact's about to get even bigger because now he's going to be able to reach out and touch these fanatics.
Harvey and I used to teach at a school, every kid in our
Every
class,
talking hip hop
And
class.
I ain't even talking about kids
was
18 and under because they
He
love him.
No, he is.
But I'm
he's
talking
the
about
god. He's the
18
goat.
and older.
Yeah.
If
I know
a
some
kid
grown
runs
niggas that
outside,
think
they
he that nigga like that. I know some grown niggas
Kids
that idolize what
love
he
him.
said. Yeah.
All they gotta do if you tell them to run outside, blistering cold outside, hands up, anything, one behind your back, and they gonna do it.
I didn't know he was that popular.
Yeah.
Really, he is. With YouTube,
The number one
you can
search
drop it on
artist on
YouTube
yeah.
right now.
Number one search artist on YouTube for the last 5
It's
years.
sick.
It's not even close.
He streamed better than
It's
you.
sick.
Yeah.
He trying to
Especially with
Off,
YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah.
don't bring Beyonce up no more.
You better leave her alone. And now,
Akbar V and Cardi B got into it.
who?
Look,
She
who?
said who?
That
So
was my
Akbar,
point.
I would expect
That was my
that
point.
who, but Cardi B.
She
I
know
love
who Cardi B
her,
is,
but I don't
know
know.
who got into it with Cardi.
So Akbar B, where is she from? She's from
Atlanta.
Atlanta. So Akbar B is like this. She's like another plus size, like very pretty girl, very attractive girl. She was on Love and Hip Hop. She's she like a D-list rapper, I guess you could say. But lately, she's been like kind of clout chasing like a lot of A-list celebrities to get attention. Like she'll be on the Shade Room talking to Drake because she like thirsts after him. And then she'll say, "Oh, I'm manifesting working with Beyonce and this person," and they like just give her a lot of attention. So apparently, there's a rapper named Lil TJ. Okay, so I don't know this person, but apparently
I don't know him either.
she and him messed around, and she bragged about this fellatio that she gave him, and she made it even a picture of it, her
Really?
singles like album artwork. Her and Cardi B got into it about a bunch of stuff on the internet and basically started throwing shots. And Cardi B uploaded the video, which is basically of her giving him head, telling him to tell her that, you know, she loves
her,
him.
but he never said.
He never says it, and actually at one point when she asked again, he says like, "Shut up and put that like eat that dick."
Wow.
Like, so she was just like, y'all go check on her because she ain't been okay since she couldn't get Lil TJ to tell her that he loved her while she was getting some head and that. So,
But why would Cardi B jump in there?
because she went
She was
after
a
Cardi
very
B.
Oh,
She
first
made
off,
she was
okay.
making comments
Okay.
like Cardi B was a rag. Cardi B waited until she had money to have kids, which I didn't understand the shade at all. I just couldn't get it. It was just a lot of stuff she was saying was
Because
stupid.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even think about it. I'm trying to listen.
Yeah, and it was like, I don't know, she tried to attack her and everything was a miss, and then Cardi B like kind of went for the jugular through that
You know,
video.
Cardi B
threw
gonna
up a
take
fight
the
video
head
where
off.
she was out in Atlanta getting her ass
War.
beat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how Cardi B found this
People
footage.
was
Maybe
saying
somebody
Cardi that
sent
shit.
it to
Yeah,
her.
they said
Like,
Cardi that shit.
I think
Also-
I love Cardi B's
How do you
ratchetness.
troll
I love
somebody
her.
And then-
who
knows
trolled
her.
their way into the game?
Also,
Okay.
Cardi trolled her way into the game.
and then get
I
this
love
though,
Cardi
Nicki
B, though.
Minaj,
She's so
like, because Nicki Minaj is actually like Team Akbar.
I don't like Nicki Minaj because she's a mean girl.
She
I don't
is.
think that.
She is. I love her music to
I
death,
don't
but
like
it's
mean
like her
girls.
as a person is like really,
you gotta separate the artist from the person.
yeah. It's like you have to
Right,
like her.
right. So
You have
some
to.
of her music, absolutely, I do. Some of her songs, I'll say,
Yeah.
Because I was
that
talking
mean
about the
girl
other day.
shit. Nah, we good.
And she basically jumped in to defend. She doesn't, but she tried to jump in to defend Akbar, and then Cardi B hopped on her too and basically called her arms because she tried to call Cardi B ugly. So Cardi B made fun of the fact that, like, you know, her arms is real.
So is that why Cardi B what she do a 0.8 her verse? What's her name?
Glorilla shit.
Man, because she ate.
Yeah,
she snapped. That's all.
So that's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. That's another reason why I think they upset because that set a record on YouTube this weekend for the most views of a debut video in 3 days. It broke a record.
First of all,
so I think that's another reason why Akbar and them was salty.
Yeah, because Nicki had just made a song where she put like 5 different and it was rappers on it. It was like
partisan. She was not partisan. Who?
She still gotta say that.
I don't care who wrote the shit.
She still gotta say
I'm talking about the person who wrote the shit.
She still gotta say that shit.
Partisan,
but they sound just alike. So,
but
speaking of Glorilla, I've been seeing a topic going around about her because I really fuck with her, and this is on the Milwaukee topic. A lot of people are saying that she took off, you know, bigger and quicker than Lakia did, who is from here, and they say a lot of it has to do with how she represented, like, for her hometown and how her hometown supported her. And I wanted to know, like, I don't know about that was okay.
Well, I'm gonna honestly say
I like her authenticness.
Yeah,
let me just.
I'm gonna go deeper than just the surface.
Like this.
I get
that's how she talks. That's how the people
that's
from
their
Memphis
style
talk.
from there, though.
That's how they
Project
talk.
Pat is
in
their
the projects. That's how they talk.
Project Pat
and
is
it's
their
almost
goat.
like you can't even.
I love her
so
voice.
if you want to be a rapper from Memphis, that's what you're mimicking. Is that you mimicking the Project Pat LaChat shit? That's what she's the new version of LaChat. Remember the girl used to rap with Project Pat? That's all Glorilla is. She the 2022 version.
I love her.
But
I love it.
But
to
bring it down to a core where I don't feel like that's a fair argument versus Lakia is
Lakia got some hits.
Is not even the hits. Is old girl shit is more homegrown. And what I'm gonna explain to you that is her producer. That's a sound. Yeah. F&F, yeah, exactly. F&F is a sound. He going around the industry giving that sound to Megan. He does beats for Megan, the City Girls. That's a sound. The other girl that signed to QC with Lakia, Glorilla best friend, Gloss Up or whatever her name is, she got the same type of shit, but it's from the same producer. His name is Hit Kid. Okay. If you look at the title of F&F, it's his song. It's Hit Kid and Glorilla.
Oh,
it's not even just Glorilla by herself.
Every time that song plays, he get paid.
He get paid. It's really because he did the beat. So what I'm saying is, if Lakia would have had an in-house producer, like if her and Amazing could have came into the game together, like Amazing would do a lot of shit from here, or her and Don, or her and Trax. If she could have did that, then it would have been a different type of movement behind what she was doing. But the fact that Q literally picked her up from here and moved her to Atlanta and put her in a condo and made her make music, that's what we got. It was that baby pretty much on her own making music. There was no production team of niggas where she from behind that shit. You see what I'm saying? Nicki Minaj, when she crossed over into the game, that wasn't Wayne them, that was Safari them.
Yeah.
That was them niggas from where she from. Even Cardi B, Partisan Fontaine, he's a blood from her hood. Raised Cardi B, so she raps. So when he tells her how to rap, get what I'm saying? That's why the coach student thing with him and her ain't no friction, because when he tell her how to rap, this big homie from the hood, this who we all want to rap like. And he writing my bars. So anything he tell me to say and how to say it, I'm gonna do it exactly the way he tell me to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even featuring on your song if he don't write my verse. Right. You know what I'm saying? She not rapping if he don't write her verse. You're never gonna get that girl to show up to no radio station and freestyle or nothing because he gotta write it before she get there.
He's a cold writer. He's so cold. Because first of all, for him to detach himself from being a man when he's writing her shit.
She is doing just fine.
Yeah, I think she's doing just fine also. But I'm just giving y'all why the energy is different behind what they doing, because Baby Girl and them been making fuck nigga free records. If you go online and look up Gloss Up, look up Glorilla, and look up Hit Kid, it's a whole crew of female rappers from Memphis, and all they do is make anthems like that. Beat that whole ass at Walmart. I said, beat that
I
whole
know,
ass.
But it seems
And
like
we'll-
everybody from her place,
See
like
what
where
I'm saying?
Glorilla is from, does really support her. And I feel like here, just because there's so many like crabs in the barrel, like type of mentality, we didn't support
It's
her.
because
as
she's
much.
not here.
It's because she's not here though.
But she was from here.
No,
like,
baby
But
girl,
she's not
baby girl
here.
shit organically grew out of here like Looney Baby. If he wouldn't have went to jail, her shit literally organically grew out of Memphis. It didn't grow out of Atlanta. It didn't grow out of New York.
But the difference with Looney, he still kept like his Milwaukee sound.
And that's because it's
That's
in-house
because
production. He didn't get picked up and plucked.
I get
and
it.
moved
I
out of
hear
town.
you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just showing y'all. I know. I'm just showing y'all from a nigga that's inside the game. I get the question that people are asking, and from the surface level, it looks, the optics of it looks like, damn, she losing or she didn't have the same impact that she had. But I feel like Lakia would have had that impact if it was more homegrown. Like if we had an industry producer, like let's say if Rico Love was a current industry producer and he grabbed her and he came to Milwaukee and did it. He didn't move her to Miami and get to making records. He came home and did the records with her. That changes how that operates. You get what I'm saying? Now the sound is different, the movement is different.
As a producer, we're a product of our environment, right? So, but everything that I hear in Milwaukee goes into what I'm producing, right? So we're crafting you a lane based upon what we're
accustomed to what you
not
hear,
even
what's
what we're
familiar to.
right. So
Builds a sound together.
so like my shit sounds real industry, but it's got a Milwaukee edge to it.
So for instance, it was almost like a double-edged sword for her trying to do what Don is describing. She paid homage to Spidey Mayweather's song. And people liked it because it had a Milwaukee sound on it, but they shitted on her at the same time because they felt like it was his record. Like you can't remix somebody's song like Bodak Yellow and Kodak Black song.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like people in the industry do it all the time, but people in our city, like you said, they like to find whatever negative they can find in there and then harp on that.
But there's an industry there's an industry trick, right, that they do. Right? They pick you up, they move you out, and they put you with dope producers. If that shit don't hit, the first thing they do is they send your ass home. They haven't sent her home yet.
So that means it's technically working.
Right.
Yeah, so whatever they is doing
And they said
it's
she had
technically
came
working.
up off the YouTube. Her fans are never really close.
Here, exactly.
But that doesn't matter in the industry.
Right.
The industry wants to know that you can go home and get a fan base. That's why Huey B is here.
I mean, Lakia came home and did like 9 shows after she got her deal.
Yeah,
State fair and all types of shit. That's what you do. Yeah.
I don't see why that would matter.
What I'm trying to
If you go
explain to
outside of
you,
your
what I'm
city,
trying
everybody
to
should
explain to y'all is the hit kid nigga had hits in the industry already, giving people the Memphis sound. So by the time F&F got to the females and it had something that they could anthem behind, your ears was already programmed to do beats and shit.
Right.
You just didn't know that. That's what I'm saying. We don't have nobody like that in the industry. So it was no way Lakia could have been Glorilla. You understand what? That's what I'm saying. It couldn't happen because we don't have one of them. Business Boy is the closest thing we got to that in the industry.
But he don't do
But he don't make Milwaukee. That's not a Milwaukee sound. That's more of an industry sound that he do. He do Rihanna shit. You see what I'm saying? Party Next Door. That's not Milwaukee music. You see what I'm saying?
So to answer your question about why it's not better that you can go somewhere else and blow up is because if you control your city, you can't flop. You can't flop. If the rest of the country don't fuck with you, the million people in your city still fuck with you. So even if your album sales fall, that million people in your city bought your album, spent your records, and streamed your records. Right? So that's why they do. That's why it's so important for you to have a foothold in your market. Looney. Let's say Looney was out and got signed to Def Jam tomorrow, right? They can move him out to New York and have him do a bunch of records in New York. He can flop in New York. He can flop in New York. But guess what we gonna do? We gonna stream all that shit. He gonna get 1 million streams out of Milwaukee. That's why they do
it. Yeah, it's she was fighting, like I said, she was fighting from behind the 8 ball, but she got an opportunity that many people don't get. Yeah. So that's what's unique about her situation. And it's very different for us because people from here.
She's still a baby.
Yeah,
like,
she's still a baby.
Figuring it out.
And I think that's probably where dude who run the label is looking at it too. Like she's a kid, man. Like she's
not even 21.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got time. Like I ain't in no rush with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just, like I said, I just think it would have been an easier path for her if we had a hell of a made it like T Grizzly them. It's easier for the niggas in Detroit because hell of a made it do beats for everybody. Mary J. Blige, the Migos, he produced for everybody. So now we're conditioned to his sound. So when T Grizzly or Peasy raps on one of his beats, it's nothing to us. It's what we're hearing already. We don't have that. Yeah. So now we need to start heralding for our local producers to start getting
just need to create
industry placements.
Just create it.
Yeah, or create it. Or create it.
And let's create it.
Exactly. Or create it. Not to discredit it. I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there. We're further ahead than she'll even tell you this when we was doing Smoking Gossip. Yeah, the Milwaukee music scene has advanced in 3 or 4 or 5 years.
We did the little hip hop show. I was a little person.
We had to interview all the people.
Yep.
During Hip Hop Week, shout out Khalif Rainey. That was great Hip Hop Week.
You got your little microphone.
Yeah. We did good though. You was getting your free from 106 Park. I wanted to read y'all something that was in my phone.
I sure was trying to read it while you was.
Nick Cannon's baby mama says she's stressing because she ain't slept in days and someone suggested Nick get her a night nurse so she could rest. Her response was, "Who's going to pay for that?" And was mad that someone even suggested that he pays for anything because he's not her sugar daddy. That just further confirmed that the women he's procreating with are all missing a few marbles, which is why they're going along with this antics. Ain't no way I'm having a child by someone I feel like I can't ask for help with the child that we created, especially one who already not around and has multiple resources to do so.
Okay. Oh, he owned Nickelodeon?
No, but he got all kind of money.
I thought he owned Nickelodeon. And he was like,
he's like, you think that white people was finna? You think Viacom was finna sell that man a network?
He's got something like that going on.
He has a lot of money.
He has a lot of money.
He has a lot of money, like a lot.
A lot of money.
Yeah, a lot.
Like he can definitely get her a night nurse.
Yeah. He could definitely not be cheap. I don't know who's to blame. That's why I'm happy women are here. And I don't
even know if it's the blame. It's just like obviously he's got to work. So if she's asking for assistance, ask for the assistance. Just
that might just be her pride too.
Right. It could be or ego.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I just believe it. Just ask for what
he does own Team Nick in the show America's Got Talent.
Yes.
Team Nick still counts.
Team Nick counts.
Definitely. That's a lot of money because that matters.
No, that boy got some paper. Yeah.
I just think that there is no fault. Like he's working, but she needs to ask for what she wants.
Right.
If you need help, say that.
Right. They said like he's picking women that are like just a little bit mentally off because I read that like he has a disease or an illness and for whatever reason he feels that he's going to pass away prematurely, so he's out here making all these kids, and I just feel like that's the most selfish thing in the world. Like
I think people who do that have like a lot of kids. With that, at some point, I think they're thinking about that. Like maybe something's going to happen to me.
Yeah, he said it outright. He said that he's going to pass prematurely, and that's why he's doing that. But it's just like, think about like again, like kids want to.
You want to leave a legacy.
But what legacy are you leaving by leaving all these children fatherless? No, that's not okay. Children would much rather have a father than $1 million. They don't know what the fuck $1 million is. $1 million doesn't even exist to a kid. What matters is their father, their parent, being in their life.
I agree. I agree.
You basically saying, I'm going to die, but I'm just going to leave all these kids here with their mama and $1 million. Like, that's the dumbest shit.
I don't think he's not an active parent.
I'm not saying he's not, but that's what he let it be known is what he's doing. That's why he's impregnating all these women, and they're okay with it.
He's spreading the seed.
That's it. That's it.
And there's a very real possibility that he may die early from lupus. I lost my sister to lupus in 2011. That's a real thing.
I'm sorry for that.
It's a painful thing.
I just feel like he does not need to be going around doing that. And them women are stupid for agreeing with it just for some money.
Baby, that's what you want.
Right. Okay, so you're right.
Get that motherfucking.
I mean, if it wasn't him, you was gonna have a baby by a bum ass nigga anyway.
Hey, so get that money, get that pay, sis. Get that
It depends on what you identify as a bum ass nigga, because just because somebody ain't rich, if they're an active father in their child's life and making an impact on their child, then that's all that matters. $1 million don't matter. You can be a shit father and give your son $1 million.
I feel you.
That's right.
That is.
So, Erica Banks.
You
See what she said? Rapper
Oh,
Erica
wait a minute.
Banks.
Oh, that's the other mean
Yeah,
girl?
and rapper
Oh,
Erica
no.
Banks says you have to have a BBL and look a certain type of way to go out and party with
that's
her
why
or
they
sit in
mad
her
at her
VIP
post
section.
about-
I don't even know that young lady, but what I heard about her was 3 people sent me that, and it was like, actually, we should talk about this. I said, I don't even want that energy around me or around in my realm. We don't need to talk about nothing we ain't got going on. But I do want to say this, like, what I heard that she said was, because I didn't listen to the video, she don't want women around her if they're not looking a certain way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, what that mean? Like, okay, if they're not pretty enough.
She said pretty enough. She went into explaining. She said pretty enough. You don't have a BBL.
Yeah. So I think that's because what the fuck does that mean?
All I'm gonna say is when you make statements like that, you better make sure you're fucking Holly Berry, and baby, it's not even that cute. So she needs to like.
Facts. She definitely could have kept that shit to herself.
That's so insensitive. She's just so like,
insensitive, and
right.
she just not want to talk because her body is like.
And she delusional.
Her lace wigs be, her makeup be. So you need to humble yourself, baby.
She's on.
Pipe down, shouty.
Yeah, that was nasty.
What era do we live in?
I think a crazy one.
Jesus Christ.
A nut.
Yeah, she was insane.
Crazy. If you could be the opposite sex for 24 hours, what would you do?
I answered this question already.
If I could be the opposite sex for 24 hours.
What did you say, Bree?
You know what I told you?
What you say?
What would I do?
What are some things you do?
Things? You said one thing.
No, it's some things.
Okay, so take all the groceries in the house. Okay, no, let me be for real. No, some things that I would actually do. I don't know.
I don't even know what to say about it.
Shit. I think men are just they dope. Period. So the fact that they have so many strengths, I would definitely I would use my strength if I was the opposite sex for 24 hours. It would have something to do with strength. Like,
do I get to
like
one man?
I would want to just because men just they have an extra muscle layer or some shit. So I would want to do something that is like with they muscles. I don't know, something with strength, like you know what I'm saying. Naturally, like lift a motherfucker up, just you know what I'm saying. Just pick them up.
Before I get my answer,
I have to be with a muscle strength, so that's fine.
I don't know. I don't know. It ain't even nothing.
Mine ain't gonna be nasty.
Mine wouldn't be nasty. Mine would be to me. That's light. Like that's
right. That's exactly. That would be so light.
Yeah.
I'm eating all day for free. I'm calling my contacts by what they good for all day.
Oh, you got some nasty money.
Listen, you be having all the
worst stories.
Yes, like that.
Good grief. At what point
you ain't invited to women's empowerment? That's why you can't. You cannot come.
And then I'm ending the night with the rose.
You ending the night with the rose?
Yep.
Oh my!
I'm going to shoot dice
I'm
on
definitely
the
trying to figure out
corner
what that's
till
like.
3:00 in the morning. I'm gonna be a hoe, a slut, a liar.
That's the whole day, Bree.
Yep. But before that, this is all like going important.
Oh, this is what you're doing that day?
Then I'm gonna shoot dice until I change back.
Okay, mine's just gonna be with the strength, y'all.
Must
I ain't
like shoot dice.
Unless I'm
You ain't
Drake.
fucking around.
She done brought up shooting dice till 3:00 in the morning a couple times.
Like I feel like
that must have actually
He
happened.
used to be at Pato.
I feel like the obvious things that we can do are the obvious things that we can do. So I wouldn't want to even do nothing that's normal within that day. Like I feel like men, they have the ability to use their muscles when they want to and when they don't want to.
Don't you?
Do I like who?
You like buff man, don't you?
No,
she just talking about strength period. She's talking about like when you try to pick up something you got, and then a dude will just come by.
No, it's not that I don't like buff men. I like a man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it like that. Like I like a man. So I think that
Tierra said Don not ending the night with a rose.
Listen, at all.
But I'm just saying, like, like right now, y'all relax.
I like women who like men.
Right? Y'all relax this fuck. So if you got up the strength of like having to like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a way more strength in a man just naturally. Y'all.
You need me to come out some loose person.
No, I got it.
So I'm like, she like her a strong man because she talking about how she gonna be lifting stuff, taking in all the groceries.
I just think that their strength is
You
unique.
just want to feel that type of strength.
Like, okay, y'all tight asses.
I feel like I'm just always like on guard as a woman. I feel like as a woman we have to be so strong and so tough, and I have so many responsibilities.
And you know what's crazy?
So if I'm gonna be a man, I'm saying fuck it. I'm shooting dice. I'm rolling up backwoods.
I want to be
shooting dice.
Yes,
what
shooting dice. Because that's what y'all
like
be doing.
Shooting
Dice, rolling up backwoods, watching porn and jacking off,
watching
organizing threesomes and whatnot.
They gave
Listen, they be living. They just be living.
Wow.
So, that's what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna take a look.
Well, I'm gonna go get free hookah, free drinks, free admission to the club.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Get my face beat for
my
free.
face beat
I'm
for
gonna
free.
tell everybody it's like my birthday or something that day, so I'm gonna get my hair done, face beat for free, outfits, all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's up there. It's lit.
Like I said, y'all heard what I'm doing.
It's
I'm
lit.
going to sit in VIP.
Real ass bitch give a fuck about a nigga that day. You hear me though? It's lit out here.
Go buy me some. What y'all be wearing? Bus and cardigans and all that. Go get me some. Okay, that's what
You gonna get you some money?
Yeah.
You gonna get you some honey?
No, I'm not gonna do that. I've heard about those. I'm not gonna do that.
The honey pack, you gonna get you honey?
I'm good.
You don't need a honey pack for your threesome.
Yeah, you gonna be good.
Man, I got stamina. I don't need all that. Y'all
Every
should
man don't have
that.
stamina.
Y'all, well, I will as a man.
So your bitches just gonna take your weak sex because they like it.
First of all, my sex is not gonna be weak.
You might be tired of it because you gonna be.
First of all,
like y'all do.
First of all,
and then it's time for them to go.
First of all, this is gonna be your first day in a man's body. You don't even know how to thrust.
I'm gonna practice. As soon as I wake up, you go right in the mirror, like practice my strength.
There's videos on TikTok that can help you too.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna get that shit down.
You just start getting together.
Don't even worry about it.
Man, TikTok a trip for real. Ladies, this question is for the ladies. Would you rather have a man with a felony or a man with a baby mama?
Felony me, please.
Felony.
It depends on what the felony is. Like you can't be no sick person.
Yeah, like no pedo shit.
Yeah,
no, we ain't talking about
we talking like a
shit.
drug charge or. You know,
Oh yeah,
we talking about life shit.
Yeah,
I've been
right.
there. I've never done
over
it.
the baby mama.
Yeah, over the baby mama for sure.
Damn. Yikes.
Baby
Damn,
mama, these baby mamas be that bad?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm one of those
I don't know
terrible
if they
women
do
where I
that
got kids, but I'm not dating you if you got kids.
Right. Okay. Now this is the time
What?
that I want to talk about. Right.
What?
Let's pause it.
No, this is to come off the top.
This is
Oh,
the topic.
let's
I
go.
want to talk about this because
Let me open up my sugar-free Hustler energy drink.
Get you a hustler any drink.
I want to talk about this because, like, my friends has asked me questions in regards to this, like, because I am a woman. The question was,
would you rather have a man with a felony or a man with a baby mama?
right. So, damn the baby mama, right? Kid though. Like,
you can't do the kid.
Right. I don't have children. So I have the right
to decide when you're ready, when you're willing to do that or not.
Or decide if you could have that. Like, now, I have to also think about the options that are out here, right? So I have to be very, very reasonable. So my life, I kind of think of it like, okay, what if he's the person and he got everything on your fucking checklist, right? But he got 2 kids. My question would be, do you want to know? So now it's kind of like I haven't like minimized like my expectations, but it's more like are you a good father or are you a great father?
I want to see your stepmama for application.
I don't think that it's even about like
You got
being
one
a
on file?
stepmama. I just think that like,
Stepmama resume.
I think it's really important. I think it's really important for us to be choosy about that because as a person with kids, you don't want a man with them, and I'm without, and I don't want somebody with them.
Everybody don't get to meet Chase, baby. You hear me though?
No, I don't want them with
Everybody
them.
don't get to meet mine.
Right, you don't want them with kids.
Yeah, I don't want
right,
them
you want
kids.
them no kids,
No
and
kids.
I'm.
But your
I'll
thing,
give you
but
your
your
first
thing is about baby mama. Your thing is about the baby mama though.
It's
not about the
deeper than
kids.
that for me, honestly.
What's
No,
it about?
it's deeper.
No,
than
she
that
said it was the kid thing too, because that's even what sparked Ashley to start saying.
I was just saying I don't want them to have kids,
at
but it's
all.
not the kids that bother me. Or
Right,
anything
so
like
it's the
that.
baby.
I love kids.
It's not even the baby mama.
I love
It's just I'm going to give you your
Yo,
first.
first, she won't.
I
You wanna be first.
want my relationship to be special to me, and I just feel like if you have had kids with somebody else, a
You
part of
already
you is
had
always
that
going to be
experience.
tied, to that type of situation. And
I want to be the
But it's the
not
same way.
faulting
But
you
it's
for
the
it.
same way for you.
But I have
You
the right
have
to be
kids.
picky.
You always gonna be
I
tied
have
to
a
that
right to be
nigga.
picky. I have a right to be picky. That's just my preference. You can't have kids. That's just what it is.
Man,
How's that fair?
I hope the universe
Like
send them
Facebook,
to me. No children that way. Ooh, God, you have no idea. That it's one in every few, and I'm gonna tell y'all, like I met two guys in the last year, two or whatever, and neither one of them had children. Now,
Are they over 30?
yeah.
You want
So-
them to have kids?
You don't.
No, they don't have kids. No,
I'm saying,
they
do
didn't-
you prefer a
You don't
guy
want to
with
know
kids
why
or
I ain't got
without?
kids.
Without.
I prefer them without it.
So
But
both of
if
us
they
prefer
do come with kids and they check off that box, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Now we're gonna have to have
Cross that road.
I mean,
You know
I've
what I'm saying? Cross
tried.
that road when
So
we get
don't
there.
write me off.
Right.
I've tried. I've dated guys who had kids prior to me. Don't get me wrong. But my preference is that you don't. Because if I'm serious with you, I'm dating you. Like, because
And I want
to
all of
marry
your
you,
attention.
I want that first spot. I want to give you your
You
first
still
spot.
gonna get all. You still gonna get a man. Oh, you still gonna get all this attention.
No, I'm just territorial in that way. I need to be your first.
I understand.
I want to just have
no,
that
I get it. I get
experience
that.
with the person.
I get that.
Like I don't have any kids,
But-
so your first kid, if it's my first kid, now we kind of can learn this
Okay,
new
so-
thing
Yeah,
together.
you done gave another girl your
Let me
junior.
explain. Let me
No,
explain.
thank
Let me
you.
explain something to you. Let me explain. A man over 30 years old. Ain't got no kids. There's something wrong.
And that's why I'm a
Fuck
fool.
nah.
Nah, that's not true.
Yes, it
That's
is.
not true.
That's why I'm a fool.
Hell no.
Unless he married and they made the decision they don't want to have kids together, or
That's
I like
that's the
27
stigma.
through 30.
That's the
And
stigma
I'm
that they
31.
give women.
So-
Like if she don't have no
Yeah,
kids and she's
No,
successful
no.
and blah 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 blah, and she don't have no kids,
It's
she's
different.
selfish.
it's different. It's different.
I be like, first of all,
It's-
like I don't
it's
think that
different.
that's fair
See,
for
because
her
a
to
woman-
say.
because
You're
a woman
saying
could
kids
be-
messy as fuck at a certain age. The
They
baby
do.
mama gonna be extra if the baby
They
too
do.
young.
They do.
That too.
But a woman could be career oriented and driven, and be focused on getting where she wants to go, and that's cool. But a man that don't have kids after 30,
That's wrong. You don't put no stigma on
Yeah, I don't
this
agree
man.
with that.
Hell no. Fuck
Really?
that. Real
bet you your asshole. I bet you your asshole.
REALLY.
I bet you your asshole.
Really?
Yeah, I
Maybe you
can't.
smoke a
I
lot
bet
of
you your
weed.
asshole.
You ain't
I
got,
can't
like,
agree.
No, that's not true. I just think
Or
that-
he okay. So is that
I like
is
asshole
that a
men.
problem?
An asshole man
It's not a
too much
major
because they
problem. You
sweet.
can take a break. Eat some fruit. That can be fixed.
Give me the.
I'm just saying there's something there. I'm not saying it's
I don't think
it's
there's
completely
nothing there.
terrible
There's
or that
nothing
he's
there.
gay. I'm saying it's something there.
No, it's men out here who just don't want kids
They just don't
yet.
have kids yet, bro.
They just don't want kids
Niggas
yet.
don't
It's
want
just
baby
like
mamas.
women.
Like I feel like the baby mama thing, we make that shit too normal. Like we've normalized it to the point where we think that's the way shit's
And
supposed to
every
go.
time I'm looking on social media, especially Facebook, one of the big things that I think is so wrong. If you don't have kids, you can't tell me how to raise mine.
Oh,
No, I can't.
absolutely.
I don't think that people can tell you how to do anything. First of all, but what I do think, I think that people have all been kids, so I can tell you what I would have liked as a
Exactly.
kid.
Yeah, I don't agree
So
with
that's
that at all.
I'm giving it from personal
Just people that
experience.
are parents. that
Or,
don't need to
for
be
example,
damn
one of the
advice.
posts said, I think that I would be a fucking great parent because my life story is just with parentless as fuck.
Mhm.
So we are the best parents to be
Right.
exact.
Right.
So and those people who don't have kids, you don't know what their life story looked like for them to not have kids. So as a woman that don't have kids, I don't think that you should say that men who Their life story could be fucked up. Like shit, I'm kind of scared to have kids right now. Like,
there are extenuating circumstances.
I can't. I'm not saying that was ducking the baby.
And I know.
get it.
And
I
right now,
but there's
it's men that I know right now who has taken full custody just to not deal with it.
Yeah.
Give me my baby.
I know
you
can
go
like too. Yeah, I know that's like.
And that's nothing wrong with
That's
that.
what that means. That's what that means. He made a poor choice when he made it.
And that's okay because we learn from our mistakes.
Yeah. Things happen.
We are fucking humans.
Okay.
We don't just because and this is another thing, and this also could go for women too. Just because this man gave you all the flowers and roses and all this bullshit, right? He could be the greatest of greatest men. It's just something that clicks in his fucking head just because you lay down with him and you should have made better decisions when you lay down with him. No, the motherfucker did everything right.
But he wigged
He
out.
just wigged out when the kid came.
Man, I could go on.
That don't mean shit.
Hey, listen,
That don't mean nothing. Like the narrative, the life
change.
story, and everything
And it could be
changes
years.
because you know
And they
why?
That's not true.
That's
Men
facts.
just get
That's
scared.
not
Get scared.
true.
That's fact.
That's not true.
That's fact.
You ignored a red flag somewhere in that area. Yes, you
that's
did.
That's
You
false.
ignored a red flag. People
Also-
tell you who they are.
No, that's not true.
What Maya Angelou say? If somebody show you who they are, believe them.
What I'm saying to you is the person could have been doing everything.
First of all, what I'm
Men
gonna
are
tell you
good at that.
is that the person
Men
I
are good at
was
that.
last year is not the same person that I am right now.
That's
For
true.
you to tell
Shit,
me
the
that
person
people
that I was
don't
yesterday,
change.
People
I'm not that
change.
person.
Exactly.
People change,
People
but men,
change.
but the
So-
men you're talking, the men you're talking about, the men with incredible deficiencies when it comes to relationships and fatherhood. There were red flags from the
Not
beginning.
always.
I get what you're saying, Don, and
At the end of
I'm
the day,
fucking with what you're saying low key because I'm big on accountability, so I'm not gonna let nobody escape you laying down with this dude and this shit happening. You created this situation is yours, but now we're going to culpability, right? Culpability lands on niggas because I've been a nigga who cried for pussy, lied for pussy, acted a certain way, went to church with a bitch for pussy. So if they're not lying, niggas, we do. Come on now, we're gonna keep it real here.
A nigga will apply pressure.
Let's be honest.
A nigga will
We
apply
will do
pressure.
that. We will front, and then when we ain't on that no more, shit going all the way left, boss.
so
It's going all the way left.
the topic is the kid. So even if you have done all of that and a baby comes from you doing all that, it's like, whoa, I didn't sign up for this part.
Facts.
So something just naturally clicks in the guy's head. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what button it pressed, but motherfuckers get scared. Like, shit, I didn't expect this part of it.
Scared and comfortable. Speaking from my own situation, I've dealt with somebody who literally for the first 3 years was the perfect boyfriend. Everybody's like, I don't know where you found him. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. The second I got knocked up and he felt like, oh, she ain't going nowhere. She pregnant with my baby. Everything changed. Niggas don't want to work no more. Niggas don't compliment you no more. They don't apply effort no more. And it's because they feel like, but they feel like I done got you. I don't have to do that no more. And that consistency is like the biggest problem in most relationships. You do a lot to get with somebody. Then once you feel like you got them, you relax.
Let me ask you a personal question. Who was he wicked for you?
I don't know.
Where'd you meet him at? Huh?
The internet.
Huh?
The internet.
Oh, okay.
What does that mean?
So how long did you invest into saying this is the guy for me?
We were dating for the longest
Like,
in the relationship.
I hear where you're going with this.
5 years.
I do hear where you're going with this, but at the same time, you also have to understand that people put on a good ass mask, right?
Listen,
But
men
I
are
don't give a fuck about what it is. But at the end of the day, fucking day, you can be a great person and still have some bad tendencies. But that don't mean that, oh shit, I gotta watch this person for 10 years for me to know this.
No,
You might not.
it ain't gotta be that. It ain't gotta be all that.
Our great grandparents and all of that shit been married for 50 years and they still don't know the motherfuckers that they had kids by. Like, what? Like, that don't mean nothing.
This is what I'm saying. There's that women have a unique
I want you to change your fucking perspective. You need to start going around some positive women.
Yes.
Because the shit that you be talking about, this is my
so
second time coming here. And the first time I set my ass over there and I thought I was hearing shit. But now I'm really hearing some shit. And you really like every time I
but
talk,
y'all don't take a lot of accountability. That's why I like what you do. And I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you in particular. I'm talking about a lot of women have a hard time taking accountability because you ignore red flags on purpose.
How about
women do that more than men do.
Okay, women, because you literally just asked me to say my specific personal situation. You said, let me ask you a personal
right, and you were going somewhere like that.
No, I didn't.
No, when you were looking for her to say, like, how much did you watch this person to determine? That's what you were going with.
You can't always
she didn't miss nothing
because the situation went left. You don't know all of the facts or details.
You're not going to keep giving me all this negative.
You be real negative.
No, he won't. Yeah, no, he don't.
No, I'm serious. I'm starting
to leave me on the
Oh no, that's what this is for. This is his opinion. I respect his opinion, but at the same time, I kind of really right. I want for him. I want to challenge you to like go outside of what you know.
I don't want you to think that I'm wholly negative. But I'm holding.
But every time I talk to you about women and men, we kind of have like.
What I think is that in the black community, we have all of us, men and women, have a hard time taking accountability.
Why do you?
But you only jump on the women though.
But because y'all.
Ain't no that's not only jump on
we ain't. I ain't pointing no fingers at the men.
Point. Counterpoint. And I just do it. I just do it more honestly. I'm going out. I go at y'all.
I never.
If y'all go at us, because y'all go at us all the time. When y'all go at us, I go. You're right. Whatever you're right about, I accept. Right? Women don't like to accept the fact that they ignore red flags.
What if we just blinded by the shit?
That's still ignoring the red flag.
Okay.
Men don't like to be consistent and then expect you to figure them out in whatever time.
What if that's just our thing? You just ignore the red flags and then figure it out.
Because, but
at the back end, that kind of be accountable for it later.
It's a good character trait, but it lends to bad results because women like to see the best in men that they're.
Women, black women, black and browns, precisely like to see the best in our
because our men, because they're
so
men,
if we like to see the best in our men, if we like to see the best in our men, that's a positive. So I think that personally, we want to see our men do well. So we be ignoring the shit out of the red flags. Okay, yeah, let's ignore because I see more for you than I see for certain other niggas that I fuck with. So let me kind of like sit this to the side. Yeah, I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna clean. You gonna help this man out.
You was talking about niggas. You said black men. So in that case, I didn't ignore it.
What I'm saying is,
when I say nigga, I mean man.
There were no red flags.
What I'm saying is,
did you talk to his ex-girlfriend?
Why
the fuck she gotta do that?
His ex-girlfriend.
Because it's the reason she is.
Do you talk to your woman's exes and investigate them?
If I meet him,
right? Like that's weird.
If I meet him,
only people I'm gonna meet. Only people I would.
We're gonna have a conversation.
That's a bit of a
you don't know if I have to meet the kids'
moms.
Yeah, baby mamas.
And the baby mama tell you everything you need to know.
Just girlfriends.
And the baby mama tell you everything you need to know.
Mama might have been a mistake.
Tell you something so that they
the baby mama might have been a mistake.
Why would you want to
I don't know. I might have been drunk.
Yeah,
I might have been taking one for the team. And got this bitch. You in the room fucking a fine bitch, and I'm in here fucking a mediocre one, and I get her pregnant.
These are.
In my opinion, it's not an excuse. I just think that women want to do.
So let me ask a question from the audience. So, Bree, you brought up or you answered with a question about. You said if a guy kind of like gives up after the woman gets knocked up or you become pregnant or something like that, like in a specific situation, somebody might have given up. What I want to ask for is fellas who be in that kind of predicament as to where, okay, he might have started slipping, I'm going to call it, in the affection area. Now, was that man focused on something else? Because sometimes niggas do get in a situation to where, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, I ain't telling you look beautiful and I ain't doing the most affectionate stuff no more. And of course, it shouldn't happen after somebody have a baby, but I'm just saying, like, was his mind focused on other shit, like starting something, or was, you know what I'm saying, was he beneficial in doing what he was supposed to do everywhere else?
I feel like in relationships, I always play devil's advocate. I don't always view it from my side of it, because just knowing myself, I'm like a very fiery person. I act off emotions. I act in the moment and whatnot. So I always take myself back and I look at it from somebody else's perspective. And my whole thing is, if somebody is being verbal with you and being upfront and direct with you on what's going on with them, I have postpartum depression. So if I'm telling you I feel depressed, I feel disgusted, I feel ugly, and you are my man, and I just had your child, and you're basically shutting me out, and then on top of that telling me, oh, let's try polygamy, because I think that I might be attracted to something different. That's what I went through in my relationship. There were no signs of that when I began with this person for the first 3 years. Yes, this man was obsessed with me, posting pictures of me all the time. I felt like I was just the most beautiful person on earth. But once I got to that point where it's like, oh, I got you, everything shifted. And had I been quiet about it, I feel like maybe I could say, well, maybe he was taking the pregnancy different. Men get postpartum depression. You know, maybe he was going through something. But if I'm coming to you and I'm asking you what's going on with you, you telling me nothing, but then I'm telling you, well, I have this issue. Can you help me with this? And you just kind of like, I didn't do anything wrong. No. I didn't miss any red flags. I didn't fuck up. I didn't misread him. I didn't see potential in him that wasn't there. I took him for what he was, and he changed. So it's not me ignoring red flags or saying, oh, he's going to be this, or in the beginning, even hyping him up to be more than what he was, because in the beginning, he was wonderful. But for whatever reason, like she said, once that baby came, it was a shift. And now I don't have to do this shit no more. Yeah,
it does. Postpartum depression is very difficult to deal with from a man, right?
Depression, period. Mental health, period.
Yeah.
Everything. Period. That's why women and men are different. We honestly handle a little bit better.
Yes. Yeah, you do.
Now, right? Not to compare and contrast, but we do. Mm-hmm. So that's why when you saying, yeah, we ignore the red flags, like, no, baby, I've been through it too. I'm going through it too. Let's go through it together. So fuck the red flags. We want to be better together.
Okay, so here's my thing about accountability, right? Did y'all go to counseling?
I tried to.
You tried to, he didn't want to? Did you go?
I had my own primary help.
And you did what you were supposed to do?
I did what I was supposed to do. That's why I said I'm okay with walking away from the situation, because I know that in a relationship you're partners. You're supposed to be equaling each other out. So if I was coming to you and being verbal and you wasn't gonna be that, I ain't did shit wrong. I did what I was supposed to do.
I ain't gonna lie, counseling, therapy, and all of that shit, that's before we even think about relationship. Can we do this shit, counseling, friendship, things together? Because I'm trying to see something. It's damn near mandatory now. I need to make sure that we on the same page.
I think one of the biggest mistakes that's made in this era with dating is that motherfuckers don't be friends.
Yeah.
Right.
And all the time.
I love the friendship stage.
Sliding somebody DM.
You have a whole agenda.
Come over.
You done thought about you gonna get married to them tomorrow.
Exactly. You and them fuck, and now y'all go together. Like, wait a minute, there was no learning each other process.
I love the fun part. I love the dating part. That's my favorite shit, because I love to date, and men get, with the ones that I've encountered, they get really possessive. Like, I want you. It's like everything of, like, no, right now I'm really trying to do my thing with my events. Like, can you support me? Like, can you be my friend? Like I love the dating part. I'm dating, and in fact, I'll be like, yeah, I date. Like, is it just you? Like, no, it's not just you, my guy. It's you. It could be your daddy, your friend, your cousin, and then it's also, and I'm going to let you know. And I'm going to let you know that I'm dating avidly. I'm an avid fun dater.
From a man's perspective, you know that is terrifying. Mm-hmm. When you really,
because you're operating in your ego. Yes. That's why.
Absolutely.
Stop operating in your ego and being possessive.
Do you know how hard? Do you know how hard that is?
Oh, baby, we can go on for hours.
Do you know how hard that is? I'm 100% agree with you that we're operating out of ego.
Yes, so stop.
But it's also very difficult for when a man decides that he's into you. First of all, we fall faster.
I know that, right?
We fall faster. Y'all fall harder.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I
yes. Men fall way fast. They like you way before you even understand it.
Yeah, right.
But here's the thing: when people operate in ego, we lose it We lose that. We lose each other when somebody is. If I'm allowing you to be your free self, I met you being free, baby. Come, you gotta be free all the time. Like now, because I don't even want you if you're not a free bird. Like I know what you did when I met you.
That's it.
Like
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you,
it's rough.
It's rough. Once a man decides that he likes you,
right? Because and I'm gonna go even deeper,
rough.
and I'm gonna get real psychological. When men operate out of ego, it's like number 52. Domestic violence deaths in Milwaukee. So that's operating out of ego. Now I want you. The man that actually shot and killed the young lady and they killed him on Water Street. He operated in ego, right? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can like me all you want, but if you met me being this social butterfly, if you met me on like what I'm doing on my healing journey, if you met me while I was finding myself, you got to continue to let me find myself.
Absolutely.
Like, and then now, if you sit back, I feel like, let me tell you what I feel like my man is doing right now. And I ain't got one. Just so the fellas know that. But I feel like my man is watching me right now. Like, and it sounds creepy as fuck, but I feel like my man is watching me right now. And he's like, damn, like, he's watching my elevation. Like he's seeing me come from Patient Soul to Ashley S. Stokes. Like he's seeing me do the things that I love to do. He is like patting me on my back. He's congratulating me like that. Like I feel like he's watching my elevation, separation from depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, everything that I went through as a kid. He wants to solidify what I'm doing. Like he's back. He's already settled. He good because the universe know that I need a solid. You know what I'm saying? Like he got to be so solid, like grounded, earthed. Like he knows that sometimes I'm weak. Like, and he sees through my strength. This man is watching me. I believe that. So for things that you say sometimes, like, yeah, the accountability and all that extra shit, I'll be like, man, listen, it's accountable men out here. They are out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have to
we
got to start speaking that shit.
Don's argument in that is that women ignore them.
Yep.
Here's the thing. Like, first of all, give me a lame one for 200, please, because I love lame, sweet, asshole ass men. Because why? He's gonna be the sweetest person to me. Yeah. Right? Like I love those types.
But you're the anomaly.
No, it's a million of me's.
That's true.
Not more.
She's saying that the Sipping Paint is about to be the Sipping Speak is about to be a whole room full of them.
You changing your attitude. You trying to slide in. That's what you over there doing because you done changed your tone. He trying to get
Listen.
Here's what I'm saying.
I've been digging her vibe. Like since she first came on the show. I know who she is. But when I'm saying these things, I'm saying them because nobody says them. Nobody says them for me.
That's why we got these different things. Shout out to Hill Black Man. Shout out to Hill Black Man.
I think it is men
because they are saying it, but in safe spaces.
But in safe spaces, but the ones that actually get noticed for saying it is the whole ass niggas.
It's the whole ass niggas, right?
There's niggas who put a microphone in the world, and they're in a room full of women, and they saying that stupid shit like that little Arab dude and that black dude.
Yeah.
Those are the niggas we see, though. You don't see the niggas that you're talking about. Right.
Again, shout out to the Hill Black Man movement because men are holding themselves accountable. And shout out to myself because Sip and Speak, women hold themselves accountable. It's just we get into a room and we think that we have to act differently when the opposite sex is around, right? Because like we think that we gotta sway a certain way because a man is in the room. A man think he gotta be like, I wish this nigga still step on my shoe. I'm about to check this nigga. You about to chin check a nigga because you want to show a female that you violent?
That's not a man.
Like, no, right? But again, you think society. We ain't talking about you.
Society.
We ain't talking about what you would do. We talking about what society do. So always remove yourself.
Yeah.
Don't never put yourself into the box, right? So it's important for us to kind of separate and be like, damn, these spaces that we're actually creating, people are holding themselves accountable. It's just in the fact in which they're doing it. It's like, I'm not going to do that shit in front of you because I don't want you to know that I'm being accountable. But if you're my partner, maybe we need to have this conversation so we can be accountable together. It's not you be accountable, I be accountable. Can we do it?
I think us in this generation, we allow too many outside influences.
Facts.
So we got facts. And
As long as we got this motherfucker right here, man,
and I'm
it's
saying,
rough.
man, even in your Fave 5, just the people around you, like people's opinions
I ain't gonna lie.
sway too much on what we do.
I tell very minimum on. You don't know who I'm talking to. You will, and to be honest, my friends can't even tell you his name.
Listen, I'm
gonna be honest with you because I don't want your feelings to change how I feel. I don't want that, right? So that's important for me to hold my dignity within myself. I don't want, girl, you bought me some flowers today. Because then now you up looking at your nigga that's not
exactly.
like you like
looking at him sideways.
Ashley nigga bought him some flowers today. We gotta think about the small shit. Like the small shit is what really matters. So sometimes that shit really don't. You shouldn't even be telling all your shit.
I seen
it don't matter.
It's a meme going around right now that say your relationship is between you and your partner.
That's it. Not everybody else needs to know that.
Right.
And y'all know
this ain't a class project, my nigga.
It don't take a village. It don't take a village to have a relationship.
Exactly.
It take a village to raise a child.
And y'all know who the codest at it? Issa Rae. She popped out like
yeah, didn't she? Yup.
Yeah, I'm married.
Lizzo popped out dope with her dude.
And I love that. And I still don't know who Issa Rae man is.
You know me.
Because first of all, that's how my man gonna be. He's gonna be in the background like, yeah. He gonna be like, that's my bitch.
God damn.
I think in this time that we're in though, men and women, we all should start dating with the mindset that you got right there, where you keep the shit exclusive. I
just want to keep the integrity between me and mine. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And I to be honest with you, I ain't no social media posted dater no more anyway, because like I'm really trying to pop out like Issa Rae. Like I'm married. Like what? Who is it? What? Yeah, I ain't know that.
For sure. So on that note, this was episode 161 of the Slicktalk with Scalez podcast. Yeah. Good combo, another dope show. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate these ladies for coming through and sitting and talking shit with me and Don and the whole crew.
Tell the people about my shit.
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. You know you got to do that before we get up out of here. Make sure you plug that. Sip and Speak.
Yes, Sip and Speak is November 6th from 3 to 6 p.m.
Fellas, we in there.
No fellas. Don't fellas. Not you. See, this is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? This nigga disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? This nigga disrespectful. So what I'm gonna tell you is, let me start over. Sip and Speak is November 6th from 3 to 6 p.m. 838 South First Street. That's 338. Put that shit on, ladies. This is Dress to Impress. We are talking about some dope conversations. Ulysses, Jumpstart Your 2023. This is a healing conversation for Black and Brown women where we're going to discuss various topics and move forward with our healing. So,
Barbie open with
there's unlimited alcohol and a charcuterie rewards for my club members.
I'm bartending.
Very elegant.
Very elegant. I will be submitting my bartender's license to y'all this weekend.
You got speakers and like hosts?
I do. Yeah, shout out to TV Talk. Shout out to TV Talk. She is one of my guest speakers, as well as Mickey. Dang, she is a licensed therapist. She will be in the building as well. Shout out to Ghetto Mantras G. She is our moderator. Shout out to Butterfly. She is our vegan chef, and she prepares our charcuterie board. So my team. I am so thankful to them. Shout out to all my friends, family for supporting me on this journey.
Or Teasy and the Talk?
Just Teasy.
That's
how I found out niggas couldn't come because the Talks had asked though.
Yes, they already asked.
Yeah, they had
already. There has been several men asking me, do we need security? No. But you can most certainly go ahead and support me by going ahead and buy your sister, your cousin, your mom a ticket to the event on ashley@stokes.com. Also on Instagram, you can follow me there. Same handle, same everything.
No. So on that note, man, like I said, this was episode 161 of the Slicktalk with Scalez podcast. We are out. I'll see y'all on Tuesday. Peace.
Yes. He about to get canceled. I'm about to cancel and turn this video off. So I can pull out the glizzy.
Yes, you got the glizzy.